June, the average at 381. He has led and swung the bat very well. Current 15-game hitting streak, 373 over that streak with a home run and 8 RBIs. Has reached base 30 straight ball games, both of the longest active streak at the major league level. He'll have to utilize that tonight along with the rest of the lineup for Troy and this ball club to have a chance against the Diamondbacks. They've been on a roll, 38-41. They're getting pitching. Their bullpen's much better. And, of course, they have the big first baseman. But it's all going to anchor around Troy Tulowitzki in this ball game and what he does for this lineup as he has for the last 30 ball games.
Game 2 of a 4-game series between these two teams. Rockies and the D-backs. Game 2 tonight. Kyle Kendrick against Chase Anderson in the desert. Phoenix, Arizona. It got up to 99. We did not hit triple digits today. And rain expected tonight. We'll be back in a moment. Phoenix, Arizona, heart of the desert. The Rockies and the D-backs hooking up for their 4th series of the season. Chase Field with the roof closed. Nice and comfortable with the air conditioning on inside this ballpark. Jerry Schimmel with George Frazier. I'm sitting in, pinch hitting for Drew Goodman tonight as the Rockies take on the D-backs in Game 2 of their 4-game series on this July 4th weekend extravaganza. Charlie Blackmon leads off for the Rockies again tonight. Charlie has done that in every game on the road trip so far. And Charlie having a good first half of the season as well. And let's look at the lineup for the Rockies, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Blackmon will play center field leadoff. DJ LeMahieu back in the lineup after a day off last night. He'll at second. Troy Tulowitzki moved from second last night to third, and Troy swinging that hot bat. No one there now to the cleanup man, Carlos Gonzalez. Willeen Rosario, who has great numbers against Chase Anderson, gets his start at first base. Hundley behind the plate, Barnes in left, and Kyle Kendrick is on the hill. Chase Anderson, the right-hander, University of Oklahoma, George.
How about that? The right-hander out of the University of Oklahoma making his 16th start of the year, his 37th in his career. He is a total of 13-9 overall in his career. This year, 4-2. The earned run average, innings, walks, hits, it all pretty good. Just haven't scored a lot of runs, a lot of no decisions for him as he writes a book on the backside of the mound before he gets started to go here. But his first batter he'll face is Charlie Blackmon. The Rockies offense, second in the National League, 266 average.
Rumor is that those pitchers, University of Oklahoma, are pretty good.
They can be.
Can be.
Yeah, well, hopefully the Rockies fans will get to see one of those very soon, and John Gray.
Yeah. Chase Anderson, last time out against the Rockies, really got roughed up in Denver. Rockies would like to do something similar tonight here in the desert. Ball one to Charlie Blackmon. Good to have you on board tonight as the Rockies try to get back on the winning track this evening. Anderson likes to work quick, and the pitch is fouled straight back. 1-1 on Blackmon. Charlie, a good road trip, a good solid first half of the year. Maybe not quite the numbers he had at this point last year when he got off that great start, but stealing bases at a higher rate than he did a year ago, and just a solid leadoff guy. Anderson delivers, and that one's hit foul as well. 1-2.
Fastball range 89 to 93, touch at 94 occasionally. He'll rely on the fastball much more than he does his secondary stuff.
So the comparisons for Charlie, a little ahead of last year, a little ahead of the pace this year, but the stolen bases are up for Charlie, and he's trying to be a better leadoff man that way. Just that one foul out of play.
What made Anderson get to the big leagues in a hurry is his ability to throw left-handers in. He's got very good command of his fastball, both up and down in the strike zone.
Grew up in Wichita Falls, Texas, and the University of Oklahoma after a stint in junior college ranks. Good, solid, middle of the rotation guy, the D-backs believe. Another 1-2 pitch to Blackmon. And Charlie hits that one well to right field. Going back, Tomas. It's out of here. Leadoff home run, Charlie Blackmon. Just like that, the Rockies on top 1-0.
Well, you wanted that offense and that fireworks, Jeff Houston. As you mentioned in the pregame show, you just got one from Charlie Blackmon on the 5th pitch of the ball game. It was a strike. It was a fastball trying to sneak the cheese past the rat. And we're going to see it later. And right center field, all they could do is stand and watch. All Charlie could do was run hard till he saw clear the fence and get the Rockies on top. 1-0.
That's the 11th leadoff home run for Charlie Blackmon this year, from a leadoff hitter, I should say. That leads Major League Baseball. He also has 35 RBIs from the leadoff spot. That is best in the majors. DJ LeMahieu was next. Ball one. Always nice when that leadoff guy can get some pop in the bat and get you going early on. 2-0 on LeMahieu. DJ got the night off last night. He had really been struggling at the plate, and Walt Weiss is saying before last night's game had been waiting and trying to get him a day off. Finally found one last night for DJ. Swing and a miss on 2-0, 2-1 to the Rockies' second baseman.
We got after a high heater about chest high.
DJ just 2 for 22 on the road trip. Three and one. 2 for 11 in his career, DJ, against Chase Anderson. Does have a home run, one of those 2 hits, a homer. And Charlie Tulowitzki on deck looking to keep that hitting streak going. That's a strike, full count. Anderson 6'1", 195. Rookie last year won 9 games. Coming in 4-2 this season. One of the losses to the Rockies. And ball 4, high and in.
Let's go back and take a look at his last start against the Rockies in Denver. 4 2/3 innings, 8 hits. See you later, Nolan Arenado. 8 runs, 8 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and 3 home runs. Willing Rosario in the lineup tonight. Hit another home run off of him in that ball game, covering 82 pitches. One of the worst defeats in Chase Anderson's career, very young career, but the Rockies got after him.
4 2/3, a career high, giving up 8 runs.
Yeah, he went 5 1/3 against the Rockies here in Arizona on April 27th and gave up 5 runs on 8 hits.
And here's Tulowitzki, ball 1, and now the catcher Castillo's going to jog out the mound, bring that ball back to Anderson. Let's set the defense for you for the D-backs in this game, too. A little bit different look than in game 1. In the outfield, it's the same. Peralta, Pollock, and Tomas left to right. Jake Lamb gets the start at third base. We saw Aaron Hill there last night. And Cliff Pennington at short, where we saw Nick Ahmed last night. Owings at second, Goldschmidt at first, and then Wellington Castillo behind the plate for Chase Anderson. So Tulo looking to increase that hitting streak. It's at 15 games, has an on-base streak of 30 games. Got a hit in his last at bat, looped a single to left last night late in the game. Comes in at .319 on the season with 8 homers and 41 RBIs, really ratcheting up the offense. In fact, the last 3.5 weeks, he leads Major League Baseball in batting average.
DJ LeMahieu, 10 stolen bases. He's been caught 3 times. On the flip side of that, Wellington Castillo has yet to throw out a base runner in 5 attempts.
That missed. 2-0 to Tulowitzki. So a home run and then a walk, and now 2-0 to the Rockies shortstop. Anderson trying to find the zone. Shorter lead at first now for LeMahieu on 2-0, and the pitch is low again. It's 3-0 on Tulo. Troy has the green light. We know that he's had that his whole career as Arenado stands on deck. Nobody out in the inning with the run in. And the 3-0. Troy's going to take that. It's a strike. Outfield for Tulo is deep. Last game, I should say, last night, first at bat, sent a fly ball deep to center, nearly had another home run, and later on got the single. Weiss is talking about the ball not carrying very well last night in this ballpark, except for A.J. Pollock's hit. That seemed to carry pretty well to left, that homer. Anderson last time out got a win in San Diego, allowed 4 runs over 7 innings to get his 4th victory. That followed that disaster he had in Denver. So he bounced back well, but some early trouble here. Making a long time to get his sign. Now steps off the back of the rubber. 9th round pick by the D-backs in 2009, Chase Anderson. Now ready. The pitch got in there for a strike, lower end of the strike zone. Tulo didn't think so.
81-mile-an-hour changeup or off-speed pitch. It did check the bottom of the box on the 4th strike zone. Anderson typically has a pretty good changeup. It's a circle change out of the hand, a lot of head motion to go with that. Called a strike by Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire tonight.
Still full count. We'll see if DJ LeMahieu might take off on the pitch. There he goes. Pitch is outside. Ball 4. A home run, a walk, and a walk. Nobody out.
Yeah, a visit from Mike Harkey. Just got a text from some friends out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They're all in town. Big softball tournament in Denver this weekend. Wish all the girls the best of luck. The Dallas-Fort Worth Team Black is there watching our ball game tonight. Got a text from all of them. Some close friends, and hopefully they have great success along with all the other girls in town. That's a big tournament. 4th of July. It's huge.
Well, maybe they'll bring us some luck tonight as well.
How about a 3-run home run?
Yeah, all right, that'll work. Well, they got us going with Blackman's
homer. That'd be good with 4-0 right out of the chute.
They got us going with Blackman's homer. They can continue. That's
I used to love these conversations. All right, you gave up the home run. All right, let's forget about that. And you've walked 2 guys. All right? One of the best hitters in baseball is at home plate, so let's not leave anything out over the middle. Hey, thanks. Got any other great knowledge you want to give me right now?
I bet you loved this one too, didn't you? Hey, throw strikes.
Yeah.
Oh no, really?
You want me to? Why do I want to do that?
I'm supposed to.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times they'll come out and they'll say to you, "What do you feel comfortable right now? What is it that you feel comfortable with?"
That makes more sense.
And it's like, well, you know what? Right now my changeup's pretty good. All right, well, let's throw it strike 1, see if we can get a rollover. Let's see if we can get out of this inning, get a double play, not out of the inning, but at least shorten this inning up a little bit.
Run in on the home run by Blackman. A pair of walks, and now the cleanup man, Nolan Arenado. 1 for 4 with a double in last night's game. And the pitch is hit to shallow right center field. Backing up is Owings, his second baseman. He's going to make the catch. Infield fly rule was invoked.
Change up at 80 miles an hour when you're expecting maybe a fastball after walking 2 straight. He got Nolan out on his front hands and got it in on him a little bit, and he popped it up.
George, there, question for you. Two guys in front of you walk. Do you take that pitch?
Well, I think with Nolan, I don't. You look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. He's got 24 home runs. He's got 68 RBIs. He's your guy. If he gets a pitch he thinks he can drive, turn him loose. Never want to take the bat out of 3, 4, and 5 guys in your lineup for me. And 3, 4, and 5, and 6, that you won't take that out of their hands and go, hey, take a pitch. Not in the first inning. I got to let him go.
Yeah. So easy to ask that question after he pops up, too, to second guess. Now Cargo.
That's always beat. It's fun to be. The hardest job is to be the first guess. Right?
Yep, exactly. And the pitch is outside, ball 1 to Cargo. Gonzalez 0 for 4 last night. He's 8 for 29 on this road trip. And he has yet to have a hit against Chase Anderson in 6 at-bats. Last month and a half, much better at the plate for Cargo. Got the double figures home run total now. 1-0. Got in there for a strike.
I like to see a home plate umpire with a slow heartbeat. They really seem to read pitches better. They set up better. They have a calmness about them.
Anderson, a couple looks towards second, then the pitch. Swing and a miss. He chased the pitch. That one well, the strike zone. High and away. How about 5 strikeouts in those 6 at-bats for Cargo? That's some trouble against this guy.
Well, what he does, it gets him in this position a lot of times, and he goes to the changeup down and away. Keeps it out of that power zone.
The 1-2. He's low.
There's the changeup at 81. Plus, he may be a little bit spooked right now about trying to come inside with the fastball after he did it on Charlie, and Charlie put it in the seats. He may not want to go back to that. He may ride a fastball up out of the zone, but I don't know that he'll be there.
2-2 on Gonzalez. LeMahieu at second. Tulowitzki at first. 1 down with a run in. And a bluff towards second base by Chase Anderson. Hey folks, it's Fan Friday on Root Sports. Send us your questions to have them answered on air during tonight's game. George and I will have that pleasure. Make sure you include the hashtag Fan Friday. Anderson taking a lot of time between pitches, zeroing in. LeMahieu short lead at second. Shortstop Pennington keeping him close. And the pitch. Runs inside, full count. George, you send the runners on 3-2?
No, I'm not going to do it. And the reason I probably wouldn't do it because it's a left-handed bat.
Yep.
If you get a swing and a miss, it's a double play. It's easy throw to second base or to third base with the wide open side on the right side. So in this situation, probably not. That doesn't mean he won't, but probably not.
And then you look at LeMahieu. He can't get a big lead because Pennington's right behind him. Tulo can get all the lead he needs at first. Runners are not going. The pitch fouled away.
Did he catch it? No. Blew it. That was 3 errors there. Upper deck, middle deck, and on the bottom deck.
Went fastball on 3-2. Went up and in a little bit with Cargo. 24 pitches already. He's got 1 out in the first inning. Another 3-2 pitch.
Already rotating to the outside corner. Wow.
Strike 3 called on the inside.
Wiffle ball changeup. Had a lot of movement. On the inner half of the plate.
Oh, what a great pitch.
It was a good pitch. I mean, totally fool you. 3-2 count. Then he gives you this changeup. See, Cargo thought that ball was going to be inside on him. He gave up on it. Watch his front side legs. Watch it start to bend backwards, thinking the ball was going to be well inside, and then he's mad at himself for committing and giving up that quick on the pitch.
Willeen Rosario stands in now. Boy, if he can keep something going he has against Anderson, this could be interesting. He is 6 for 8 against Chase Anderson in his career with a home run. And a home run against him in that game in Denver. 2 on and 2 out. Ball 1. Chase Anderson looking to minimize the damage.
It's interesting to watch Cliff Pennington at shortstop because he'll set up straight up, and then as the pitch is called, he'll start moving to his right towards the third base line if it's an off-speed pitch. And you know, as a hitter, you're concentrating so much on the pitcher, it's tough to look that way and see them start to rotate over. Starting to creep over a little bit already early.
Really,
three steps over.
Really in the hole to begin with. 1-0. Nope. 2 balls and no strikes. Low again. Trying to get Rosario to chase something low out of the strike zone. Willeen says no. Now hitters count for him. Look at that. 6 for 8 with a home run.
Big numbers. Sees the ball well.
Numbers,
yeah, sees the ball well off of Anderson.
You normally see Ben Paulson, a left-handed hitter in this situation against a righty, but not with these numbers by Willeen. 2-0, line to left field. It's a base hit. LeMahieu will score. Tulowitzki heading to third. He is going to be waved in. It's going to be a 2-run double for Willeen Rosario. He continues to tear up Chase Anderson. It is 3-0 Rockies.
I tell you, make that mistake and make it big time. The dugout, you can hear the loud noise there. 19 RBIs now for Willeen. And he finally got a pitch on a 2-0 count that was up. It was in the middle of the plate and easy for him to turn on. Really stayed back. 82-mile-an-hour changeup on a 2-0 count. Willeen just sat on it and rocketed this thing down into the left field corner. And I do think Stu Cole had a vision of possibly holding Tulowitzki up, but the ball stuck down into that corner. There's a little corner in the left field that ball got up under the fence, and it was a battle for Peralta, and they sent Tulo.
Got home easily without a throw. Now Nick Hundley with a man in scoring position. Strike 1 to Hundley.
Now look down into this corner. When the ball gets there, if it hits that edge, you wait for it to come out. It dies, and it got all the way up against that fencing. By that time, Tulo was halfway around third and headed home.
Rockies last night managed 1 run total. They have 3 in the top of the first tonight. Good stop by Castillo. 1-1 on Nick Hundley. Hundley last night 1 for 3. Expected to see Michael McHenry in the lineup tomorrow night, and then Hundley back behind the plate on Sunday afternoon. Rosario now 7 for 9 in his career against Chase Anderson. And Anderson steps off the back of the rubber. He will reset. Two outs. Rosario at second base. 3 runs on 2 hits. 2-run double and a home run. And that's in there for a strike. And Hundley didn't care for the call, I don't think, a whole lot.
I can see why, too. He thought the ball was in, and he thought it was down.
It seems so often this year the Rockies, when they're pitching, when they're on defense, giving up that walk that comes back to hurt them. Well, they've returned the favor with the D-backs. Both the walks in this inning have scored, LeMahieu and Tulowitzki. The 1-2 is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hundley.
And because it's been about 15 minutes, maybe almost 20, since Kendrick has thrown a pitch, when he goes out, it's important that that backup catcher, McHenry, get out in a hurry so he can get loose and maybe get more than that 8 pitches you're allotted to make sure you're good and loose after setting for about 20 minutes. You don't want to go back out and create havoc in the bottom of the first.
2-2 is hit hard, but right at the third baseman Lamb. He'll make the play at first, and the Rockies will settle for their 3 runs. First 3 in the lineup score for the Rockies. Charlie Blackmon a home run, and Willeen Rosario a big 2-run double. The Rockies have jumped on the D-backs 3-0. Welcome back to Chase Field in downtown Phoenix as A.J. Pollock leads off. 9 center fielder for the D-backs in the bottom of the first inning. And here's the lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines for the home team tonight. Pollock will lead off in center. David Peralta, the left fielder, will hit second. Then the big first baseman Paul Goldschmidt. He is hitting third, playing first base. Yasmani Tomas is the cleanup man. Jake Lamb getting the start at third base. Castillo hits 6. Chris Owings 7th. Cliff Pennington the shortstop, and then Chase Anderson the pitcher. And Kyle Kendricks, George, going to work.
Well, trying to turn that fortune around. 17th start, 3-10 right now. The earned run average above 6. The opponent at a .286 average. The one thing that jumps out, the 23 home runs, as Jeff mentioned, in this ball game. On a team that can't hit the ball out of the ballpark, you're just much better off of trying to keep the ball on the ground. And let's hope that's exactly what happens. He's given up 166 home runs in his entire career, covering 242 ball games.
Pollock hit a home run in last night's ball game against the Rockies, his 10th.
Well, after your club scores 3, it's and I've been there. You want to go right back out and try to have the quickest inning you can. Let the offense continue to hammer.
On ball, Tulowitzki, big hop, sets and throws in plenty of time to get the speedy Pollock. Tilo using that big arm at shortstop. 1 down. Here are the Rockies with the leather tonight. And just about the same way as last night. The outfield's the same. Barnes, Blackman, and Gonzalez. Arenado and Tulowitzki. DJ LeMahieu back at second base. And Rosario at first base when we saw Ben Paulson last night. Nick Hundley behind the plate for the right-hander Kyle Kendrick tonight in Game 2. Here's David Peralta, the left fielder. Looks like he's found that spot out in left because of a couple injuries. They moved him over there, and now Tomas playing right where Peralta normally had played. And he says he's really enjoying playing left field. First pitch in there, strike 1. Rockies put the shift on the infield. You can see 3 on the right side. And Tulo's moved over around and swung around second base. 1-1 on Peralta, the former minor league pitcher, 4 years in the Cardinals organization. Reinvented himself as a position player, and a good one. Now in a solid first half. And that missed inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kyle Kendrick beat Chase Anderson in Denver last week. They that head-to-head matchup.
10-5 in that ball game. A lot of run support for Kyle. Hopefully they continue that tonight.
Line drive to center field from Peralta, and Blackman can't get it off. Extra bases for Peralta. He may try for 3, puts the brakes on at second base. Oh, a good piece of hitting, driving the ball the opposite way for double.
Certain guys have a funny sound off the bat, meaning that you know the ball's hit extremely hard. Tulowitzki, Arenado, Gonzalez, and Peralta is one of those guys that it sounds a little different. Last night against Chris, after the error by Arenado, he hit a triple all the way down in the corner. He can really run, folks. He thought he might have had another triple here, but ends up with a double. That triple last night with 2 outs was the difference in the ball game.
Now Paul Goldschmidt, 1 out with a runner at second. Fly ball to deep left center field. This one is going to get to the wall and score the run. Goldschmidt with a double. Back-to-back doubles off of Kendrick, and the D-backs, just like that, respond. 3-1 Rockies.
66 RBIs now for Paul Goldschmidt. 2 hard hit balls coming off of the fastball at 88 miles an hour. Stayed down in the lower half of the zone. Goldschmidt, a very good low ball hitter. This ball stayed there, and he set right on it in the middle of the plate. A drive out into left center field, given chase by Charlie. And Brandon Barnes comes up short. Barnes able to get it off of the wall, but Peralta makes it a 3-1 ball game.
What a hitter this guy is.
Yeah, you see the RBI totals. Nolan leading the National League. Stanton, who's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. Goldschmidt 66. Harper, Buster Posey.
It's Monty Tomas, the cleanup man now with 1 out. Take that for a strike. You watch that replay, George, it just tells you what kind of hitter Goldschmidt is. That wasn't a bad pitch. That was down below the knees.
Yeah, down in the zone, a guy that's 6'4", but man, he turned on it.
He left it over the plate, but it was down. It's just a great hitter. That is one of the game's great hitters, Paul Goldschmidt. Still just a young man. Tomas, a big night last night in game 1. That's in there for a strike. 0-2. Let's look at that pitch again that Paul Goldschmidt hit to left center.
Now you can take it from the side. He squatted down quite a bit, folks, but you can see that ball's right below the kneecap. So it's down in the lower half of the strike zone. It's a lot of times, though, when guys can time that swing, they generate a lot of leverage when the ball's down.
0-2 on Tomas. Got him. Strike 3 call. The fastball caught the outside edge. Boy, just what Kyle Kendrick needed. 2 outs.
Well, one of the harder pitches thrown by Kyle Kendrick. Big sinker outside corner, squared right up to Nick Hundley on that outside half. See right where Nick wanted it? Umpire Manny Gonzalez gave it to him at 88 miles an hour.
So 2 down. Jake Lamb, the left-handed hitting third baseman, with Goldschmidt at second base. Lamb, a big, strong guy. Couple of homers, 13 RBIs. He has 99 at bats on the year, so not a full-time player by any stretch. Strike 1. Lamb spent some time on the disabled list. He had a left foot stress reaction. Came back on June 6th, so back about a month. And fouled away. No play for Arenado. All right, let's get to our Twitter questions. Let's get number 1 of the night. And if a foul pop is not caught, let's say a player touches it, is the play considered live?
Fair or foul territory? That's the next question I'll ask. In foul territory, it is typically ruled an error unless a very difficult play on the player. In fair territory, yes, it is very much alive.
2 pitch runs inside, 1-2 on Jake Lamb. University of Washington product. He was last year's minor league player of the year for the D-backs.
Has not performed like they thought he would, particularly with runners in scoring position. 200 average.
Rockies put a shift on the infield against him, and he pulls that one down the right field line. Fair ball to score the run. Another extra base hit. Cargo hits the deck. Lamb's going to go for 3, and he's going to get there. 3-2 Rockies. So 3 hits in the inning, all extra base hits, 2 doubles and a triple for the D-backs.
Remember that the warning track is a fine gravel here in Arizona. So when he went out to try to cut this ball off, Cargo's going to try to put his brakes on right here, and his feet just go completely out from under him. And he slid, then he came up firing. But as he tried to cut to get an angle on the baseball, his feet went completely out.
Cargo a moment ago nodded toward the Rockies dugout saying he's all right. So man at third, 2 down. This is Wellington Castillo, the veteran catcher. Strike
Been
1
a
for Kendrick.
pleasant surprise. I'm sorry, Jerry. Pleasant surprise since coming over here to the Arizona Diamondbacks. He has swung the ball much better than he did for the Chicago Cubs. Castillo, while wearing their uniform in Arizona, has hit .259 with 4 home runs and 12 RBIs, 160 with the Cubs. I thought maybe tonight we might see Saltalamacchia with a right-hander on the mound, but it appears Castillo has taken over the job.
Still a chance, we were told before the game, we might see Saltalamacchia tomorrow just to get Castillo a break in the series. We'll see tomorrow evening. Good stop by Hundley. 2-1. The 2 outs that Kendrick's got. Ground ball by Pollock to short and a strikeout of Tomas, but in between 2 doubles and a triple. This Arizona team comes into the game leading the National League in runs scored. They've been a very pleasant offensive team. They traded away Mark Trumbo a while back. They felt like they didn't really need him in the lineup anymore with their outfielders. That one to left center field. That's going to be trouble. Perhaps Barnes on the run. He makes a catch. Oh, great running catch by Brandon Barnes, who got a great jump. And that saved a run. D-backs will settle for 2. They're right back in the game. 3-2 after 1. The Rockies have the lead. We're back to Chase Field in Phoenix after these messages on Root Sports. Toyota stores. Let's go places. By Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today only at Jack in the Box. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. We're back in Phoenix. A wild first inning. 3-2 Rockies with the lead. Arizona with 3 extra base hits. The Rockies had a solo home run that first inning from Charlie Blackmon. And for the Rockies, here's the number 8 hitter in the lineup. So 7 sent to the plate in inning number 1. Brandon Barnes leads off. Kendrick is on deck, and then Blackmon. Chase Anderson back to work. And strike 1 to Barnes. Brandon 1 for 3 last night's game. 4 for 19 on the road trip. 4 at bats in his career against Anderson. 1 for 4. 0-2. Rockies have played 9 times before tonight against Arizona, have lost 6 times. And the Rockies overall on the road have lost 10 of their last 13 games. Road record 17-23 coming in. And 2-5 so far on this road trip. Walt Weiss's team overall 34-45, 11 games now under 500. 2-2 to Barnes. Interesting, the Rockies 11 wins in the month of April, 11 in the month of May, 12 in the month of June. So Walt was talking about the other day. He said we've been consistent, but we haven't been very good. We've been consistently average at best. Who wants tacos? If the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to participating Taco Bell locations in Colorado the next day between 4 and 6 and get your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. Chopper towards second. Big hop there for Chris Owings. 1 down. And tonight, a big concert going on at Coors Field. The Zac Brown Band. Here's a tweet with a picture of the stage. at Coors Field. This is a huge event. Zach Brown, in fact, himself saying the other day this he thought was going to be the biggest concert he's ever performed at. And look at the outfield. Wow. Mark Razum, the groundskeeper, I don't think he's going to sleep. No, he's not going to sleep real well tonight, I don't think.
It's going to be an all-nighter. They'll think they've been in a rain delay with trying to get all that out of there and picked up and taken care of in preparation for Tuesday's ball game.
And the guess is, George, knowing Raz, that's probably going to look beautiful. It'll look perfect on Tuesday. Kyle Kendrick swings the bat pretty well as pitchers go. 1 ball, 1 strike with him. He's got 5 hits and 31 at bats this year. Anderson looking for a little quieter inning here in the second than he had in the first.
Ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kendrick. A changeup at 81. You know, one of the few curveballs that he's thrown in the game.
Yeah.
It's all been fastball changeup, missed poorly with it.
Saw a lot more of those curveballs last time he was out. Last couple of times he pitched against the Rockies.
If you're one of the 22 scouts in attendance, as I looked down earlier, that it's almost like he's pitching away from contact as you watch him with pretty good stuff. 89 to 93, changeup decent, but everything's off the plate. He's not challenging early, and it's evident here with Kyle up on a 3-2 count.
Good swing by Kendrick to foul
really
that one
good
back.
swing. Yeah, great swing. So when you look back at, so can you give me that again? Remember, he threw a 3-2 changeup to Carlos Gonzalez to strike him out.
Another payoff pitch to Kendrick, and foul tip held on by the catcher. And back with a fastball. Out number 2 as Charlie Blackmon will come up, and Charlie will take his time getting up to the plate and savoring his first at bat when he hit the long ball to right field.
Fastball down and in, tried to run the sinker to fool him, to get him to lock those knees a little bit, and he locked it over the right field fence. Tomas, what are you crawling and jumping for? It's 30 feet over your head.
I noticed that when it was hit live to him out there.
Guess it looks pretty, right?
Apparently so. Leadoff home runs, 9 for Charlie Blackmon, a club record.
Just past Eric Young.
There he is, Eric Young Sr., first base coach for the Rockies. I don't think he minds at all, Blackmon breaking his club record.
Records are meant to be broken, right?
That's what they say. I've heard that a few times.
There's a few that never will be, but
George, if you could say this pitch comes into Blackmon on 1-1, and that's a fly ball to center. We'll get back to that thought the next inning. Circling around Pollock, there's out number 3. So Chase Anderson bounces back at a 1-2-3 second inning. 3-2 Rockies, middle of the second.
closed at Chase Field. It's time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag RMDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Kyle Kendrick gets him on for the Rockies, having given up those 2 runs back in the first inning on 3 extra base hits. The Rockies have been out hitting the game through that first inning and a half, 3-2. And he will get the bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9. Owings, Pennington, and Anderson. Righty against righty. And the first pitch is a called strike 1. At Chase Field, Kendrick in his career 0-2, ERA at 9 coming in. 5 starts tonight is his 6th. Owings swings and foul tips the one in the mitt of the catcher, Hundley.
Really good changeup at 80, about 7 to 8 miles an hour off the fastball, but a very good location.
Chris Owings, another one of those guys that's hit very well against the Rockies this year. 321 batting average, only 232 overall for him. Getting his 60th start of the year. He's 56th at second base. Pitches outside, 1-2. Last year, just 91 games for this guy. Had an injury that caused him to miss over 2 months. Left labrum injury. Rockies put a shift on in the infield. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss with a pitch in the dirt. Good pitch by Kendrick, and there's his 2nd strikeout of the game. But Pennington, the switch hitting shortstop, the veteran, will hit next. Pennington has kind of turned into that utility guy on the infield. He's actually played some outfield as well at certain spots this year. Let's get back to our Twitter questions for the night on this Fan Friday. What's the latest on Justin Morneau? A little bit to lend to the Justin Morneau situation. It's not terribly positive. It's not bad, but not terribly positive for Morneau. For over a month, Justin did absolutely no activity. We were told no physical activity at all, just resting and trying to do it comfortably. Now he is doing, we are told, some physical activities, moving around some. He has been to the ballpark, into the weight room, and done some light exercising. So getting back, but very slowly, Justin Morneau is the report we have. Let's hope it quickens. Rockies could use him. What a great player, great guy.
Great player, yeah, and a great influence in your locker room.
Last year's National League batting champ. 2-1 to Pennington. Swing and a miss. He was out ahead. There's a good-looking changeup again from Kyle Kendrick.
It's all about your arm action and body action to sell the pitch to the hitter. If you slow down too much, it alerts the hitter that it's coming. If you can keep your same arm action, same arm angles with your changeup, you can be successful with it.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got Owings, got Pennington on strikes.
It's just another good location on a changeup at 81 miles an hour. Tremendous amount of movement off of this changeup. In a very good location.
Wow. Great looking pitch there. Fading away from that left-handed hitter. Chase Anderson, the pitcher. So Kendrick looking to bounce back with a 1-2-3 inning after a long first inning. Strike 1. Anderson 3 for 26 on the year. Let's have a couple of RBIs.
7 of 8 pitches have been strikes this inning.
Oh, good looking breaking ball there.
Just throw another one, get it over with, and get in the dugout. Don't try to get cute. Don't give him an opportunity to put a swing on a ball.
0-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Kendrick strikes out the side. Good bounce back inning for the Rockies right-hander.
3 runs back in the first. It is time for our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean, Crisp Coors Light, the game's most refreshing beer. How about this? 20 years ago today, Andres Galarraga 6 for 6, 5 RBIs in a 15-10 win over Houston. I feel old, George. I remember that game vividly. I remember watching that thing. 6 for 6 match by Charlie Blackmon opening day at home last year against these Arizona Diamondbacks, and Charlie also had 5 RBIs and 4 runs scored in that ball game. So 6 for 6 for Galarraga 20 years ago, and last year for Charlie Blackmon.
Let's see if the middle of this lineup could do some more damage. DJ LeMahieu walked, scored the run on the double by Rosario. He'll lead off here in the third.
Average under 300 for DJ at 296. This was a slow road trip offensively, trying to pick it back up, and drew the walk, as George said, back in the first. Strike one called to LeMahieu. LSU product DJ LeMahieu. There's one on the Arizona side. We saw Aaron Hill, LSU grad, in game 1 last night. It's going to slice foul down that right field line, out of play.
Drew Goodman tonight is attending the Albuquerque game. Yeah, he's down there with his son Jacob at a tournament in Albuquerque. Saw the first AAA homer. Kid has some pops. Good to be in Albuquerque. Drew Goodman with Jacob down there in a tournament this weekend. Eddie Butler's got a shutout going, also 1-0.
Looped into right. Tomas coming in, makes a catch. I sure appreciate Drew letting me pinch hit for him tonight.
Nice to have you along, Jerry.
Drew's back on Sunday, correct?
Yes, he will be. He'll be here on Sunday. Tournament ends on Saturday.
Jack Corrigan tomorrow with George on the 4th of July. Back to radio for me, and then Drew on Sunday back at the booth here.
Reading beat New Britain today, 12-7. New Britain 42-38, but Murphy hit his 13th. Barfield, Jesse hit his 2nd. Falaka hit his 5th. Carl took the loss. He's 8-5 now. Came over in a trade with Pittsburgh when they sent Rob Scahill to the Pirates.
Mention that name, Tom Murphy. That's a guy you might want to remember. I think he's going to do all right in the big someday. Off the handle the bat for Tulowitzki. Fly ball to left is out, number 2. Let's go back to Denver. Here's a tweet from the Zach Brown Band concert. They're just now, we're told, taking the stage at Coors Field. Thank you, Michael Fox, whoever that is, for tweeting that one in. Oh, quite a stage.
I was just getting ready to say the drummer would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's neat.
That is a big time production right there. Coors Field Zach Brown Band. You're not a country music guy, are you? Being from Oklahoma?
No,
I'm not stereotyping, I know.
You know, it's kind of funny, though. At the Meadowlands in 1984, Willie Nelson put on a concert. Myself, Goose Gossage, Greg Nettles, Bobby Mercer went on stage and sang with Willie, Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, and the Judds.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, one of Willie's hits, On the Road Again.
Oh, man.
It was after a game in New York, and we all went out to the Meadowlands in front of 80,000 people.
Oh, cool.
That was pretty crazy.
That's cool. Now, if you did that today, there'd be videotape from it. Lamb on a hot shot handles that one with his counterpart Arenado. 1-2-3 third for Chase Anderson. Middle of the third, Rockies have the edge, 3-2. American League voting as of a couple of, National League voting as of a couple of days ago. And again, this is not the final roster, not the final group of starters, but where the votes landed a couple of days ago. And you see a D-back and Paul Goldschmidt at first base. And for the Rockies, nobody out there right now. Matt Carpenter has the lead at third base. Nolan Arenado, we're told, is closing in, however. A.J. Pollock leads off for the D-backs. Let's look at the American League now. George, this is the American League here.
That's the American League. When
American
they put
League.
the AL up on top for Al, that's what that is.
It's not the American League, it's the Royals.
Yeah, it's the Royals.
Five Royals leading vote getters as a couple of days ago. And
Cabrera had to be helped off the field today in Detroit. I'm not sure he'll be available to play. Go foul.
Foul. It is foul pulled by Pollock. 0-2. And there's Nolan. Certainly when you look at numbers, you would put Nolan Arenado at the top of the list. Matt Carpenter's having good, solid first half, but nothing like this guy.
He'll be there.
Yeah,
They just like to see the pride factor to have him start.
Sure. This guy, A.J. Pollock, Walt Weiss talking about yesterday and today, feels one of the underrated players in the game as outfielders go. Great combination of speed and power, and maybe someday Walt said this guy could be an all-star. Really likes the way he plays the game. It's in the dirt, 2-2. Grounded out to shortstop his first time. Notre Dame product. He's out of the state of Connecticut. Injury problems a year ago, but he's healthy and having a great first half. Talk about the first half. This is road game number 41 for the Rockies, so halfway through the road schedule tonight. 2-2 pitch. Missed away. Full count on Pollock. David Peralta to follow. Kyle Kendrick, a tremendous high school football player, as was the guy at the plate, A.J. Pollock. 3-2 is grounded right back to Kendrick.
Got him to reach for the ball away from him at 89 miles an hour. He got the easy ground out. Movie night's back at the ballpark July 12th. That's Sunday. All the fans are invited to stay and watch the rookie following the game versus the Braves. Purchase the movie ticket package to access the field for the movie and receive a special blanket. The first 5,000 will receive a movie blanket. 303 Rockies. Rockies.com/movie to get your tickets.
One down, bottom of the third inning, a 3-2 lead for the Rockies. Here's David Peralta with a double his first time up. Drove one to the gap in left center field. And scored a run. Scored 1-2 for the D-backs back in the first. Goldschmidt, who's on deck, knocked him in. Rockies put the shift on. And that caught the inside edge.
He's got a very good running fastball today that he's had the ability to back off some left-handers with it and get called third strikes on the outside half of the plate.
And that missed inside, 2-1. Kendrick set with a 2-1. And that's pulled fair. That's a fair ball grabbed by Rosario. 2 outs. Good play. Good footwork there for Wallin Rosario. Well, folks, today after every Rockies win, you get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Promo code ROXWIN, ROXWIN at papajohns.com. You'll have to beat my son to that because he'll be ordering first. 2 outs for Paul Goldschmidt. Always good to have 2 outs and nobody on when this slugger comes up.
And as you look from center field, you see how far away he is from the outside corner of the plate. Keith Hernandez, who I respected a lot when I first came up, and George Hendricks, another very good hitter, told me You see a hitter standing away, they want the ball away. You see him standing tight, they want the ball tight. They think they can turn on that inside fastball, and they dare you to throw it in there, expecting you that you don't think they can get around on it. They want to extend their arms, particularly big guys like Goldschmidt.
And pops this one up, but it's a foul ball behind home plate. Well, with every challenge call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. No challenges tonight for Walt Weiss or his counterpart, Chip Hale. First-year manager of the D-backs. 11th year in the organization. 1-2 pitch to Goldschmidt. Line to center field, a base hit.
As good a hitter as he is, and his average 354 prior to that at bat. As good a hitter as he is, when he gets a single, it's almost like thank you.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, he just swings the bat so well. I think great hitters, Nolan being one of those, Tulowitzki, they get themselves out. It's difficult to get them out 4 times in a game. That's a squared up fastball, up out over the plate. Talked about extending the arms. You can see how when a bat gets out through the zone, boy, his arms are fully extended driving the baseball.
Tomas will ground one to short. Tulowitzki's got it. Flips to second. That's a force to end the 3rd inning. Good work again by Kyle Kendrick in help for the defense. 3-2 Rockies heading to the 4th. It'll be Gonzalez, Rosario, and Nick Hundley in this inning for the Rockies. Just a couple of hits for Colorado. They came back in the 1st inning, a home run, then a 2-run double by Rosario. 4 hits for the D-backs, but the Rockies with that 1-run lead.
Cardinals fooled on a 3-2 changeup, his first at bat. A big old sinker there. Didn't stay anywhere near the zone at 91.
Rockies coming into this game having scored just 5 total runs in their last 4 games. They jumped on the D-backs with 3 in the top of the 1st. Swing and a miss on that changeup. And like last night at this point in the game, the pitcher's about the same kind of line. 2-1. Anderson in his rookie year a year ago, 9-7 in 21 starts. 2-2 on Gonzalez.
He's one of those pitchers, when given some run support, he pops out there and wins 15 games. Kind of like Schumacher with the Angels. He won 15 last year, 16 games, had an earned run average near 5.
Popped up.
That's in the rafters.
That's the shortstop Pennington, who was in the shift. He'll make the play. 1 down. And let's go back to Twitter and look at a picture. We've got Zan, a Rocky Mountain transplant here in Phoenix, enjoying the game here at Chase Field.
Hey, that was in the first inning. Rosario's out at second. Good picture.
Yeah. Down that right field line somewhere. Thank you for the photo. I think there are a few of those, few Rocky Mountain transplants out here.
Well, they really show up during spring training.
Yep. Here's Rosario, and he'll swing at the first pitch and foul it away. Had a big swing back in the first, drive in 2 with 2 outs.
That guy in the third deck didn't think he was going to get that foul ball, but the double in the first, down the left field corner, got a change up out over the plate, 2 on, it drove in 2, and that made it a 3-1 ball game, or 3-0 ball game, I should say, at that time. Rosario 7 for 9 against this Chase Anderson.
On that play, that ball kind of stuck on the sidewall, allowed Tulowitzki to score on the play.
Yeah, Anderson wanted the fastball in, hard sinker at 91. Career versus Arizona, crazy. 150 or more at bats, so it's not like a sampling of 2025. Rosario 375.
Pretty good swing there, but he's down 1-2. I think his 34th start of the year. He's had a couple times as a DH, but mainly at first base. Defense has progressed as the year has gone on. And swinging the bat very well these days. He's had a good road trip, had a great homestand before we got on the road. Had 3 hits in all 3 games against Arizona in that homestand. And he likes to pitch against these guys. Or hit, I should say, against these guys. They don't like to pitch to him. 1-2 pitch. Fouled away. George, last thing I was getting ready to ask you about, you talked about some records will never be broken. When you look at that list of major league records, is there 1 or 2 that stand out you say will never be broken?
Well, I saw Young's record of wins.
Yeah,
I don't think that. Consecutive of games played.
I'm with
I
you
don't
on
think
that.
guys play long enough to do that. I'll be surprised. I don't think anybody will beat Pete Rose. Most hits in the game. They won't play long enough.
Yep.
Very few 20-year players anymore. Todd Helton may be one of the last. A-Rod will make it, but not many guys are going to play long enough to accumulate that many hits.
Two on Rosario. Chase Anderson taking a lot of time between the last pitch and this one, and it paid off. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball.
Big change, big curveball. Well, you know, the other one, it may be a little difficult to break too. Johnny Vandermeer back-to-back no-hitters.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that one.
You know, that
would be a
just
difficult one.
Seem like it happened. Military Appreciation Day, July 11th, presented by Jeep. Active military and veterans receive complimentary tickets. Discounts available for your family and friends. Come early for all the celebration. That's exactly right. July the 11th on Saturday. I'd love to have all of you at the ballpark, and thank you. Thank you for serving our country.
Amen. Nick Hundley. Swing and a miss. He was out in front.
Hundley hit a very hard ground ball right to the third baseman on a fastball. His average at 297 on the year, 6 home runs, 27 RBIs. A great year for Nick.
And that's up the middle. Pennington, the shortstop, has this one. Oh, Chase Anderson has retired 10 in a row since the 2-run double by Rosario way back in the first inning. Meanwhile, back in Denver at Coors Field, Zach Brown Band continues to play. Inning 3-2 Rockies with the lead. Well, this week a new episode of Rockies Weekly. We hit Walt Weiss's old stomping grounds in Oakland. And we celebrate Chuck Nasty's birthday, and we have a 4th of July celebration with the flag people at Coors Field. All this and the best plays of the week. Sunday after the game on Rockies Weekly right here on Root Sports.
Kyle Kendrick himself has turned it around. The second inning, he struck out the side, a 2-out single by Goldschmidt, and then they were able to get the force with Tomas.
Two state of Washington natives going at each other here. Kyle Kendrick and Jake Lamb. And strike one to Lamb, a fastball at the knees. An RBI triple for Lamb the first time up against the shift, and the Rockies put it on him again.
Now, the shift only works if you're able to play the defense to it. This ball popped up to the left side. Nolan doesn't have to worry about saying, I got it. There's nobody there around it.
And let's go back to our tweets. Why do the Rockies shift so often? Seems like it's being overused.
Well, I think for traditional baseball guys, you're probably right. But I think the new era of analytics that prove to where guys hit the ball over and over when pitched correctly. And it's a two-part deal. You can set your shift, and Stu Cole does a lot of that with the infield. You can set your shift, but then if you don't pitch to it, it can hurt you.
Stu was telling us the other day, he said that the shift for the most part has really worked well for the Rockies. They feel like they've got the right timing with the right guys on the shift, and it's paid off. Now, it's not going to every single time. We saw Peralta beat the shift last night with a base hit, but
if it works,
Rockies are happy with it. Yeah.
2 out of 10 times, you're a winner.
Yep,
I mean, who cares if the guy hits 200 against the shift? That's a pretty productive shift for you.
Catcher Wellington Castillo, the hitter. That's a strike called. And Kendrick's starting to really find the zone after that first inning.
And I don't think people really understand the time and effort that goes into that department that comes up with all of these numbers. There's a lot of effort spent to help you win a baseball game. Why wouldn't you take advantage of it?
I've seen those spray charts, and there are a bunch of them, and they're complicated. But the Rockies really feel like, and they're shifting. I looked this up today, shifting about as much as every other team in Major League Baseball, including the American League, and they're right in the middle in terms of putting the shifts on, and they feel like it's worked very well for them. Two-one on Castillo, flied out to left his first time. 3-1 the count. This weekend here with the D-backs, they call it the All-American Weekend. 4th of July celebration, of course, tomorrow, and then Sunday is Military Appreciation Day. Rockies will send out David Hale tomorrow, and then Jorge De La Rosa on Sunday afternoon. Kendrick hasn't fallen behind too many, but 3-1 here. And good spot on a pitch there, 3-2.
Out of 53 pitches, only 18 have been for a ball. So he's utilized the changeup and the fastball, particularly the fastball on the outer half of the plate. See, that's not really fair because Castillo's speaking to Gonzalez in Spanish, and Hundley's like, what are you guys talking about? You're arguing about the pitch. I thought it was a pretty good pitch, just like this is a pretty good pitch, and they're going to get him out with Tulowitzki firing to Rosario.
Well, since that first inning, Kendrick has really settled in. He's given up one hit since that RBI triple by Lamb. That was a 2-out single to Goldschmidt that didn't hurt. In the meantime, his counterpart, Anderson's retired 10 straight.
Well, the key is a lot of ground balls. That's the key to it. In the third inning, he did give up the single, but he had 3 ground ball outs to follow. Previous inning, he struck out the side. He's got a weak fly ball to third and a ground ball to short this inning.
Kendrick struck out the side in the second. This was the first strikeout victim, Chris Owings, in that inning.
I thought that pitch pretty close, so it missed in the bottom of the zone.
And that's a foul ball.
Boy, that upsets you. You make a good pitch like that as a pitcher, and it just kind of, you break the bat and it squeaks by fair territory. It was foul. But those are the kind, when you do give them up, that's very irritating.
2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rockies jump on the D-backs for 3, top of the 1st. Arizona comes back with 2 in that same frame, and nothing happening for either team since. Ground ball right side against the shift. That one's going to hurt. Owings just reaching out and poking one to right field for a base hit. About a 9-hopper into the outfield.
Looking at this from where the pitch was to be thrown, Kendrick hit his spot, outside corner, and Owings just threw his bat at it. When you throw the bat at it, you change the angle and the flight of the baseball, so that's why he's able to shoot it through that right side with DJ on the left side of second base. It went into the outfield. Charlie got there in a hurry.
So Cliff Pennington, also a strikeout victim first time up there with 2 outs, and at first. Low ball 1 to Pennington. Former #1 pick, Oakland Athletics picked him out of Texas A&M. Owings doesn't have a real big lead at first. Now an extra half a step for him. 1-1 on Pennington.
And you have to pay attention to Owings. Only the reason I say that, 9 out of 10 stolen base successfully. On the flip side of that, Nick Hundley has thrown out 12 of 28 on the season. Nick with just 2 errors. He's done a great job receiving the baseball.
I think the consensus is Nick Hundley's been everything and more as a catcher for the Rockies this season. Swinging the bat pretty well as well. Ooh, pitch in the dirt, and Pennington chased.
Kendrick with a very good changeup today. Almost looks like a left-handed slider to a lot of people, to the hitter. So, I mean, it's tremendous movement for whatever reason here in the desert today for Kyle Kendrick, and he's taking advantage of it. Why not? Throw it till they hit it.
Trying to get his team through this 4th inning and keep that lead. 1-2 the count on Pennington.
And a lot of times managers, because you're in the bottom of your order, you don't necessarily want to steal and then have them get thrown out. Now you got Pennington and then you got Anderson, the first 2 hitters in the next inning, 8 and 9. A lot of times you'll keep it open for the hitter to allow that right side to open up.
Slow it in. Evens the count. 2-2 on Pennington. 61 pitches thrown by Kyle Kendrick.
Pretty good number when you're almost through the 4th inning. Majority have been strikes, 2-1, 40 strikes in the game.
Since that first inning, keeping the ball down, hitting his spots in and out very nicely. And that's going to be a base hit to center. Owings will stop at second base as Blackman fires it back in. So 2 outs, back-to-back singles for the D-backs, and now Kendrick's got to take care of his counterpart, Chase Anderson, coming up with 2 outs.
Struck him out on a fastball, then 2 straight curveballs. On the season, he's had 27 at-bats, just 3 hits, 2 RBIs. It's not an automatic out. He has struck out 50% of the time, 13 strikeouts.
Foul tipped and held on by the catcher, strike 1. Owings at second, Pennington at first. Saw Chris Russin for the Rockies last night help himself at an RBI single in a similar situation to this. Anderson trying to tear a page out of that book.
Boy, did Chris pitch well last night. Man, oh man.
Didn't deserve the fate he ended up with. Off the outside edge, that's a called strike, 0-2.
Scouts were abuzz in the lunchroom today talking about how well they thought he threw. Yeah. One of the better ball games they had seen him pitch. Some veteran guys, been around a long time.
Kendrick trying to get his counterpart. 0-2 the count, and the pitch missed outside. Tried to lure him into chasing something away. 1-2. Now Kendrick was a high school quarterback. He actually had committed to play football at Washington State to be the punter. Going to be a quarterback, he said maybe, but he was going to be the punter for sure if he had the opportunity, but signed with the Phillies. And the dirt humbly with a nice stop. 2-2.
That's the job you want.
The punter?
Until you shank one towards the coach. Yeah. And then you go to the opposite sideline.
Not just shank one, but shank one toward the coach.
Yeah, you just go, hey, I'm going to go play for the other team. The second half, is that okay?
Yeah, that's Kyle Kendrick in spring training. He said, you think about the fact you missed out on playing college football? He said, yeah, I think about it all the time. I think it would have been a blast. But he knows he made the right decision. He's had a good, solid career. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. Strike 3. Struck out Anderson twice. No harm done. 4th inning. We'll head to the 5th after this on Root Sports. This year the roof has been closed. They've actually had some cooler weather in the spring through the beginning of summer here and had the roof open more than they anticipated, but with 99 degrees today outside, the roof was closed and very pleasant inside. As the Rockies have that 3-2 lead heading to the 5th inning. And let's check our CenturyLink What's Next. CenturyLink link to what's coming up next. And here's a calendar for the Rockies. You got these 4 games over the weekend. Monday off for the Rockies. Interleague play again on Tuesday with the Angels in town. Quick 2-game set. Then 4 against the Atlanta Braves. Then the All-Star break. And the Rockies after the break on the road in San Diego. Brandon Barnes leads off the 5th for the Rockies. Grounded out to second, first time up. And hit one to right field, pretty well struck. Tomas going back to the wall, the warning track, leaps and he makes a catch. Ball just kept carrying. Tomas stayed with it and robbed Brandon Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes, he thought he had one too. He caught it well. Then Tomas finally found a place for him to play a little defense. And he just tracked the baseball off of the bat, stayed with it completely. Barnes had the full swing and extension of the arms, driving the ball to right field. Tomas with the leap right in front of the yellow line, but looked like it might have fallen short of the fence.
That one hit well to right center, but Pollock's got this one off the bat of Kendrick, and that's 2 quick outs.
Hey, look back at it. Anderson pumped up a little bit after that first inning debacle where he got a couple of walks, a home run, and a double to fall behind 3-2. I know it's tough to swallow as a hitter sometimes, and we used to call those guabs. Goodwood AB.
Yes, Monty Tomas, really interesting story. In spring training, and we saw a lot of the D-backs in the spring, The D-backs are talking, they had no spot for this guy. They didn't know where he was going to play defensively. They thought third base was his best spot. He struggled there. Finally put him in the outfield and right, and he has thrived out there. Witness the great catch he just had. Strike one to Charlie Blackmon. Charlie will take a pitch or two here, at least one, to get his pitcher some rest in the dugout before he has to pitch again. Blackmon a home run and a fly out to center. 1 and 1 strike. Blackmon's home run is 11th back in the first inning, and with this one, a lazy fly ball to center. This will be a quick 1-2-3 again for Chase Anderson. There's out number 3, 3 fly ball outs. Middle of 5. Rockies still have the 1-run lead, 3-2. It was a wild first inning. Charlie Blackmon led off the game with a home run, his 9th career leadoff home run. Troy Tulowitzki walked to reach base in 31 straight games now. Then Willeen Rosario in that same first inning, a 2-run double. Those are the 3 runs the Rockies scored. They have the 3-2 lead. 2 runs for Arizona came back in the first inning. And obviously Kyle Kendrick has pitched very well since that first inning. Top of the order, A.J. Pollock leads off. Rockies put the shift on. And a ground ball foul pulled by A.J. Pollock. He's 0 for 2. 2 ground ball outs against Kendrick tonight. And with the 0 for 2 average dipping under 300, 299. Saw Pollock hitting second in last night's game, but he's a natural leadoff guy as well. Like Charlie Blackmon, in that he's got some pop in his bat from that leadoff spot. That one lifted into shallow left and racing over Barnes, can't get it. Pollock a big turn, heading for 2. The throw to second and safe. LeMahieu couldn't get the tag down in time.
Yeah, it looked like the throw came in, and LeMahieu said, "Let's check it." They'll do that. A little bit surprised down 1 run that you try to stretch that, but he does. We're going to look at this. Great play by Brandon Barnes. The throw on the run. The throw comes in. Pollock sweep tag. So the hand is on there. Then the tag's applied. So he is safe on that. Did he come off after that when he switched hands? That's the question.
We'll wait and let the Rockies decide if they want to challenge here or not. I think that just watching the one replay might be a difficult challenge for the Rockies.
Yeah, I think it is too. You're going to see the hand come in. See, the right hand is on the bat. Then the tag is applied. Then the switch of the hands. Did the tag stay on when his hands switched the bag, or did both have contact at the same time? That's what you're trying to answer right now. They are going to take a look at it to see what the call is in New York. You were talking about the shifts, and again, it's kind of important when you start to look at all the different things. Walt Weiss and the coaching staff, Ryan Jones, and try to figure out what's there.
So it's time for a Subaru review. Whether you're on the road or at the game, everybody could use a second set of eyes. Subaru review taking place, the Rockies challenge. Watching that first replay, I didn't think so. Watching another one, there might be a chance for the Rockies here. You see the tag by LeMahieu, so he's definitely got the glove engaged. Right hand off, left hand not quite there yet. Good question. Don't know if there's enough evidence to overturn. We'll see what the umpire in New York, who makes the call, has to say. EJ doing the right thing, keeping the tag on throughout the slide. Pretty good job by Pollock to get that first hand in there the way he was sliding in.
Well, I was wanting to see where fielding Culbreth was. Did he get blocked to see if the tag was still on? I don't think he did. We'll just see what happens with this.
Normally with that base runner coming in like that, the tendency is to put the left hand down, but I think Pollock read that the right way, thought, you know, I got a better chance by putting my right hand in and then switching hands. May have saved himself an out. Their umpire Chris Guccione had a chance to talk to us about different plays, and he describes this particular play. Let's listen in.
So you get in that position where you think you have the best chances to see the swipe tag, as we say, and you're watching, same thing, you have to focus on the glove, the tag of wherever this might happen, and the base. So you have to all keep those things in your viewfinder there, in your sight.
There have been a lot of looks at this in New York, taking quite a bit of time. Let's hope this works out for the Rockies and Walt Weiss.
The tendency, you'd think, is if it takes longer, there's a better chance of it being overturned. Because
well, you think that, Jerry, and I think also they want to make sure they get it right.
Yeah.
You know, that's the purpose of this, is to make sure you get it right. Particularly in a ball game like this. It's 3-2 ball game. This could be the difference maker here in the fifth, with nobody out and a runner at second, or one out and nobody on base.
That's a tough decision. That's Dave McKay, the longtime first base coach for the Cardinals, now here in Arizona, talking to Pollock.
Well, you know that tie with Tony La Russa being here. Worked for Tony for a number of years.
Right hand off before the left hand in.
Ooh, man, I don't know. Here we go. We're going to find out. He's out.
He's out at second. How about that?
He's telling him, pick the helmet up and walk off the field. It's not us, and it's not for arguing. You're going to get tossed. And that's why they're making sure you don't say anything right here.
On the call, here's Pollock's initial reaction.
How is that possible? Pretty easy to read the lips. You know, for whatever reason, they had a little slower. Congratulations, Walt won another one. And a big one. And a big one in this ball game. Right hand on, tag applied, left hand off, left hand on, tag still there.
You could see it. You could see where the umpire could make that decision.
And fans need to understand that call made by the guy is in New York City, not by here. But it's also, to me, Jerry, on that play, you're down one, you're in the fifth inning. That's a mistake to try to stretch that to 2.
I'm with you. Took 3 minutes, 18 seconds to make that decision for the umpires. One out and nobody on. David Peralta, the hitter. A good challenge by Walt Weiss. I wasn't so sure about it, but of course that's how much I know.
Yeah, the fans showing their displeasure. Unfortunately, Well, this umpiring crew didn't make the call, but they are getting the brunt of it.
1 ball, 1 strike is the count on Peralta. He has doubled, scored, and rounded out to first base tonight. And the fans continue to boo. Fisted to left field, playable for Brandon Barnes. 2 down. Well, you really got to tip your hat to Kyle Kendrick, George, since that first inning. What a job he's done.
3 hits given up. 4 hits, excuse me, given up since the first when he gave up 3. He's kept the ball on the ground, kept their bats off-centered.
2 of the hits for the D-backs coming from this guy. A double for Goldschmidt and a single for Goldschmidt. 357 with a 2 for 2 now.
76 of his hits have come to the left side of the infield, but you have to stay honest with him. 23 to the right side.
Fans don't want to give it up. They don't want to move on. Grounder up the middle. LeMahieu behind second base. Tough play. Got it. Good play by DJ LeMahieu. It turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning for Kyle Kendrick, and the Rockies maintain that lead. Back in a moment on Root Sports. Ford Escape. Smart, safe, and fun to drive. Ford Escape. Go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. Sunset here in the desert. Beautiful evening. Expect some rain. We had some rain about 4 o'clock this morning. Expecting some more tonight to cool things off here. As DJ LeMahieu leads off in a 3-2 Rockies lead, top of the 6th. Chase Anderson has retired 10, 11, 12, 13 in a row since the first inning. Talk about settling in. 2-0 to LeMahieu. DJ walked first inning and scored. Fly to right last time up.
You talked about what Kyle Kendrick has been able to calm down. Chase Anderson, no hits since the first inning when the Rockies lead-off home run, then a double by Rosario. 13 in a row have been retired.
It's a strike, 2-2 on LeMahieu. Last inning, Brandon Barnes nearly had an extra base hit. Tomas with a great catch in right. And Kendrick actually hit the ball pretty well. So some couple of hard hit balls, at least against Anderson since that first. Strike 3 call. DJ didn't think so. Thought it was inside. Backed him off the plate.
Not only inside, but down.
That's a tough call. Let's go back to our tweets. We got a question. Is it my TV or the grass at Chase Field in awful condition?
It's not in great condition. You can see where they've had to come in and put a patchwork in right field and left to replace a lot of the grass. When this ballpark was first opened, they used to bring in ultraviolet lights and try to put them on as they watered during the evening to get grass to even grow in here. Because of all the heat, oh man, hanging breaking ball, pulled it just a little early. But they had to do an awful lot just to get grass to grow here, and then they finally figured out all the equation to have success. But yes, at times they've got to replace an awful lot of grass here.
It's difficult to grow here for sure, and that is a huge battle from day one for this franchise. The players will tell you the dirt surface on the infield is good. It's true. The grass, not so much sometimes. You catch a seam or two where they have replaced the grass and you get in some trouble. And it's all around the field. And that's over by third base. First base the same. That's Goldschmidt at first base. So you got down the lines, you've got replacements around the mound, around the circle mound. You've got grass replaced. Foul ground, fair ground. It's just difficult to grow grass here. 1-2 to Tulo. And Troy's got his on-base streak continued tonight. 31 games, looking to extend that 15-game hitting streak. Walked first inning and scored, then flied to left. And that one looped to right. Tomas coming in. Got to play the ball in a hop. 16 games in a row for Tulowitzki with a hitting streak. And that stops a string of 14 straight retired by Chase Anderson.
Well, off the end of the bat, but you take it any way that you can. Actually, right on the label. Is Troy able to inside out this ball to right field? Tomas gave effort, then realized I better back off, take it on a couple of hops, and get it back in again. Nolan Arenado on the night has popped up to second, grounded out to third.
He's the hitter now with Tulowitzki at first and one down. Anderson to a stretch for the first time in a while. Pitches outside and high, ball one. Rockies out hitting the game 7-3, but have a 3-2 lead in the sixth. Not a tremendous amount of success against Anderson for Arenado. Trying to change that here. Kind of late on the swing, 1-1. Interesting, the Rockies' record this year 31-33, so almost 500 against right-handed starters. The lefties 3-12. They've had trouble against southpaws this year. Right-hander tonight in Anderson, time given to Arenado. Tulowitzki short lead at first. Swing and a miss and a high fastball. That one might have been out of the zone.
Remember, it was changeups that got Nolan earlier in the ball game, and then one fastball. So now he's come back with two elevated fastballs. And if you're Nolan Arenado, you don't think there's anybody that can throw the ball by you. Most good hitters, they can't. I'd be careful trying to do it a third time elevated. Pretty good swing on a nasty fastball away at 94. He went to go get a little extra. The hardest pitch thrown so far.
Yep, that's the highest velocity tonight for Anderson. I didn't know he could throw that hard.
He's an Okie. You see Nolan's last 12 games versus the West. They'd like for him to miss the plane ride. Look at that, man. 9 home runs, 22 RBIs, 16 runs.
12 games, 9 homers.
388.
Same spot with a fastball there at 93. No one fouls it off. Still 1-2. Arenado with a career high 68 RBIs already. Career high 24 homers. 15 home runs on the road this year for Nolan. That leads Major League Baseball. Got him. Fastball up. 2 outs and runner at first.
Fireworks show. It's coming up again Friday, July the 10th. See, look at that, Jerry. How nice they do the route thing.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool? Courtesy of Coca-Cola and King Soopers. Tickets available. But they are going very quickly, so make sure you make that phone call to Rockies.com/fireworks, 303 Rockies. We have our own fireworks. Pretty neat, huh?
That's pretty neat, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Like Mark Stout said earlier, you can buy those fireworks in Wyoming, no matter what. And in Oklahoma, according to George.
The big ones.
Can you buy the ones that shoot Root Sports out like that?
Yes.
In Oklahoma?
Yes,
Good.
you can. I've saved them for a number of years.
Carlos Gonzalez is 0 for 2 tonight. 2 down, man at first. Rockies still holding that lead. 3-2 in the 6th. D-backs have that shift on, and it's hit to left field. Playable there for Peralta. He'll circle around, make the grab. No harm done against the D-backs and Chase Anderson in the 6th. Middle of the 6th inning. Still 3-2 Colorado. Out of the 6th inning. Well, missed any of the game tonight? Root Sports has got you covered. See the best highlights and plays of tonight's game tomorrow at 7 before the Rockies take on the D-backs in the 2nd game of the series. Don't miss a moment with the Rockies double play. Now Kendrick warming up for the bottom of the 6th inning. The 2 runs given up back in the 1st. He's scattered some hits since that time. A single in the 3rd inning, 2 in the 4th. A single with Pollock, then he got thrown out at second base on a replay review. And came back, got the next 2, got Peralta and Goldschmidt. So he'll start with the cleanup man, Tomas.
Eddie Butler tonight, 7 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Unfortunately, Diaz came into the game. Diaz came in and gave up a run to let it be tied up right now. 4-4 in the 8th inning in Albuquerque.
Where Trevor Story hit the home run, correct?
Yeah, absolutely he did. Romack hit his 15th for Reno. The big Rockies are up here. The little Rockies are playing there against the Diamondbacks. AAA ball game in Albuquerque.
Yes, Monty Tomas, the Cuban. Hits by rookies this year. He leads the National League. Billy Burns, whom we saw in that Oakland series, a fine-looking center fielder. Leads rookies in hits with a 73. This guy not too far behind. I just can't tell you how big an improvement he has made since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, he's comfortable now. I think when you do defect, come here, sign a big contract, your expectations of your crowd, your organizations are very high. You battle that. You battle looking over your shoulder a lot. You're only accustomed to that. We had 2 more defect in North Carolina earlier today. Nola tough hop. There's those types of hops Jerry talked about on this infield. You think it's going to be a true hop, the last second it does a nosedive on you.
Good reaction by Arenado to stay with that one. He had 2 errors in last night's game and talking to media after the game, and he faced every media question there was after last night's game. He said that was one of the worst games I've ever played in my life. He said it was embarrassing. He said that's not going to happen again tonight. Back with the glove. 1 down. Jake Lamb with the shift on is the hitter. He's 1 for 2. Drove in the second run first inning. The hitter Jake Lamb played at University of Washington. The pitcher Cal Kendrick committed to Washington State but never played.
78 pitches in the game. Kendrick is due to hit 4th in the top of the 7th inning.
Get to another fan question from our tweets. Thoughts on the fan voting process for the All-Star game? Don't Nolan and DJ deserve some more respect?
Absolutely they do. But the fan, you the fan, are the ones that can show that respect. DJ's not in the top 5. Tulowitzki's 3rd.
Left field, Barnes racing in and can't get it. Broken bat, blooper to left for Jake Lamb. Don't know that Barnes got a great jump on that baseball with that big swing taken by Lamb. Broke his bat in the process.
It is. You can look out as you look at this surface, and we had that question earlier. A lot of the outfielders wearing metal cleats. Some guys will wear the rubber cleats, but Barnesy in metal cleats today, trying to give chase on the baseball. And, with the big swing, you respect the power. Then you freeze, you take off, you try to get there. Not able to do that.
And Wellington Castillo, the catcher, who's grounded out and flied out tonight. 1 down. Rockies have not turned a double play tonight. They could use one here. This will be pitch number 81 from Kendrick, and it's in there for a strike.
Brandon Barnes, nice running catch on Wellington Castillo's first at bat on a line drive, hitting left center to end the first. Lamb's only had 2 stolen bases, not a lot of speed. It may be a situation, if you think with it, that you let Wellington try to take the ball through the right side, put a hit and run on.
Almost tipped Castillo.
It did hit him.
It got him. It clipped him. Ball was caught by Hundley, so it didn't get much of him, but it's a hit batsman nonetheless.
Yeah, look one more time at this, trying to dive out of the way of a sinker. They're trying to get inside. Yeah, it looked like it caught just the bottom of his hand as it came off the bat. Waiting to see if Walt wants to contest it or let it go.
In the meantime, Christian Friedrich is warming in the Rockies pen. I think Justin Miller is going to get up and throw a right-hander. And Steve Foster, the Rockies pitching coach, will come out to give this pen some more time. Pitch count is not a problem for Kyle Kendrick. He's at 82.
Location all of a sudden it starts to get elevated a little bit. I think that's where you start to look around and make sure that Kyle Kendrick is on pace. He's thrown 102, 5 times this year. On the road traveling, want to watch your Rockies? Subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for the live or on demand. Over 400 devices, real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and a whole lot more.
So visit the mound by Steve Foster is over. Kyle Kendrick facing Owings. And Kendrick's done all right against the bottom three in this order. Owings hitting 7th. He's got 4 strikeouts among those 3 hitters. He struck out Owings once and the guy on deck Pennington once tonight. Last time up, Owings, however, singled against him. Outside, ball 1. Last night the Rockies carried a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the 6th inning, and then 3 runs scored by the D-backs, and then they did it again the 7th with 4. One more in the 8th last night. Rockies trying to prevent such this evening. 1 down, men at first and second. And that caught the outside edge.
Off the plate at 86, a cutter. Given a strike by Manny. Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire. Glad he gave it.
Out away, so Kendrick is working ahead now. Ball and 2 strikes.
Owings has 27 hits to the left side of second, 32 hits back up the middle to the right side. So he pretty much plays straight away defensively. Shorten up for the double play with 2 strikes. Nolan will drop back at third.
And the 1-2. Strike 3 called. He went back to that same spot and got the call.
He's gotten it all night long, and it does touch the outside corner of the plate. And it's a matter of squaring the body of the catcher. And he's been able to do it all night. That's why he continues to get those calls. You know, this no different than the other strike 3 calls. Good pitch by Kyle Kendrick in a crucial situation.
Great spot with that one.
Yeah, see if he can hit this. Plenty of height to the pitch. It was more of what Owings thought was outside.
Now 1 more to go in the inning. Cliff Pennington.
Aaron Hill has stepped out into the on-deck circle.
That's the pitcher spot due up next. High ball 1.
Hill is a pinch hitter, 4 for 17, 235 average.
Pennington fouls it back. One on Pennington. Pretty big moment in the game here. Bottom of the 6th. Rockies holding that 1-run lead. 2 outs. The D-backs are threatening. Kyle Kendrick, 88 pitches, 57 for strikes. He's been terrific tonight. This is a very good offense, this D-backs team, especially at home. He's going to hold him down. 1-1. Missed inside. Kyle Kendrick, the Rockies' opening day starter, got the win in Milwaukee, and since that time, just 2 more wins. One of them last time he was out against the D-backs. But battling tonight. 2-1 to Pennington. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last time out, Kendrick gave up 5 runs in 5 2/3 in San Francisco. Pitching much better tonight than in the previous handful of starts. Struck out Owings, looking for another one, perhaps Pennington, and Pennington will get time at the plate. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 on. as a sign from Nick Hundley. A looper into right field, a base hit. Going to tie the game. Just past the glove of Rosario, broke his bat off the handle. Tough luck for Kendrick. We're tied at 3.
Yeah, very tough luck for Kyle Kendrick because it was a good pitch. Put it right where he wanted to. Lamb came around to score, who had singled. The hit by pitch with Wellington Castillo, and then now this bloop hit by Pennington, his second hit of the ball game. A single left center last time. This time the ball's inside. Just hit it where nobody gets to play. A no man's land in right field. Rosario gave chase. DJ gave chase. Walt Weiss now not going to give Kendrick a chance to win this ball game, or he doesn't want to come out of here though. He's got first and third right now. He's not happy with coming out of the ball game. Felt like he'd made a pretty good pitch here with 91 on the day.
Pitching change to the Rockies. 3-3 tie in the 6th. In the 6th inning, gives way to Justin Miller, George, the right-hander.
Yes, he does, and the right-hander comes in making his 8th appearance, 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout last night. Threw the ball extremely well. Left-handers have gotten after him, right-handers have not. He's dominated. 125 average against Justin Miller from the right side. Aaron Hill comes on to pinch hit for Chase Anderson.
And the veteran Hill, right-handed hitter, takes ball 1 from Miller. Just 225 this year for Hill. 4 homers, 22 RBIs. Another guy that hits the ball well against the Rockies. 8 games against the Rockies this year, 346 batting average. Big night last night. Fouled back. Fastball at 92. Runners at the corners, 2 outs for the D-backs. A Southern California guy, played at LSU, longtime member of the Toronto Blue Jays. A lot of talk that the D-backs might move this guy before the trade deadline. Miller fires, missed away, 2-1. Justin Miller, a handful of games, 8 last year in relief for the Detroit Tigers. Picked up by the Rockies in the offseason. Started Double-A up to Triple-A and has pitched very, very well in the minors for the Rockies. ERA right around 2 in his time. Right there for a strike. Pennington at first, Castillo at third. 2 singles hit batsmen in the inning. Bloop single RBI by Pennington. Just outside with a breaking ball. Full count. We'll be moving from first. In the history for Justin Miller, throws hard. Trouble with command at times.
Trying to throw the sweeping slider and get him to chase off the plate. That's been kind of the bugaboo for Aaron Hill through his career. If he could get ahead, he will chase the breaking ball out of the zone.
Pennington will move on the pitch. There he goes. Pitch on the way. Missed outside. Boy, great play by Hundley to save a run. Somehow got his mitt on that backhand play. Bases are loaded for Pollock.
A very athletic guy, Nick Hundley, behind the plate. That's what got this play made for him. Yeah, what a tremendous play.
Wow. At that point, you become like an infielder. Just try to backhand the ball without getting it by you. So the base is loaded for Pollock. Pollock's had an interesting night. He is 1 for 3. Last time up had that single, tried to stretch to a double. Initially called safe, overruled on the challenge. He was out at second. Justin Miller in a big spot, trying to get an out to keep this game tied. Bouncing ball to short. Tulo backs up. Quick throw to second. Just in time to get the runner at second base. And Justin Miller does that. Keeps the game tied at 3. We'll head to the 7th after this on Root Sports. Here as we look at this tweet from ESPN Stats and Info. 4 straight losses, 1 for 34 with men in scoring position. That'll make you 0-4. New pitcher for the D-backs. as Enrique Burgos comes on. Right-hander for the backs, George.
Hard thrower, 18th appearance for him. Right-handers have been dominated. He'll get Rosario, Nick Hundley, and Brandon Barnes, all right-handed. Unless Walt decides to go to the bench tonight, only had a couple on the left side, Paulson and Descalso.
Starts Rosario with a slider.
I'm sure that the winter ball that these two competed against each other at times feel successful doing what they do to get people out. Castillo sets to the outside corner once again. Another slider at 87. The first was at 86.
Two-run double for Rosario, then a strikeout tonight. Rockies out hit 9-3, but are tied 3 in the 7th. Enrique Burgos, B-U-R-G-O-S, big right-hander. And the pitch. Another breaking ball, this time laid off, did Rosario. George said he throws hard. He hadn't thrown a fastball yet. Watching the warm-ups, he threw not one but two over the head of the catcher to the backstop on his warm-ups.
There's your indication.
Yeah, he's got 10 walks and 17 innings this year, so a little bit of a command issue at times, it appears. Strike 3 call.
Yeah, there's the fastball, 96 miles an hour, right on the block for strike 3. Rosario didn't like it. A slow walk back to the dugout. Much like what Kyle Kendrick was able to do for the majority of the ball game, paint the outside corner. The over the head to the screen warm-ups is all part of the setup. Jerry's how you do that.
I see. Get him right where you want him. Thinking differently, huh? Nick Hundley next. High with that fastball, 95 miles per hour. His first career win, Burgos did in that series against the Dodgers. It was the one game Arizona won over the weekend here against Los Angeles. There's the slider to go around. He did. Couldn't hold up.
When you get velocity, but you also have the breaking ball behind it, it's your perfect 7th, 8th inning and eventual closer at the big league level.
Well, he's got all kinds of strikeouts, 17 innings and 27 strikeouts. So George said this is a potential closer in the making here with the stuff he has. And they say the slider sometimes as good as that fastball. There's the slider, and Hundley fouled it away. On the disabled list for about 3.5 weeks and went to the minor leagues for assignment. Now back. Held opponents scoreless in 7 of his last 9 games. Prior to the injury, she had led all major leaguers with a 16.5 strikeout per 9 innings ratio. And that's a lot of strikeouts. That's a Aroldis Chapman type numbers. Now ball to third. Big hop for Lamb. 2 down. Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag RMDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's all brought to you by T-Mobile. RMDataStrongFan is the hashtag. 2 outs for Brandon Barnes, looking for the first hit for him tonight. He's 0 for 2. He is flied out and grounded out tonight. Burgos fires, and the slider is low, ball 1. A 96 mile an hour fastball, high 80s slider for Burgos. Down to Descalso with a bat in the on deck circle for the Rocks. Another slider that caught the inside edge for a strike.
Oliver Perez, the left-hander, is warming up. for the Diamondbacks, so he's trying to counter whatever Walt's going to do.
Oliver Perez still getting it done in his career. Fouled away off the bat of Barnes. Another tweet coming from a fan who actually won tickets to the Zac Brown Band concert from Root Sports. Big fan, there he is at Coors Field. That's a great photo with the band in the background. Thank you, Jared. 1-2 to Barnes. Swing and a miss. Got him. 1-2-3 with a pair of strikeouts with a hard-throwing right-hander, Burgos. 7th inning stretch in the desert. We're tied still at 3. Too sharp to talk about his love for his family, his faith, and the art on his body. Actually, tonight after the post-game show, also hear from his teammate about the energy that only Brandon Barnes can bring, both on and off the field. That's all this week. Tonight, Rockies real time after the game. Some changes for the Rockies. In left field now is, for the Rockies, Drew Stubbs. We have a new man on the mound as well. Tommy Kahnle takes over, the right-hander for the Rockies. A little bit up and down, George, but for the most part, it's done a pretty good job.
It has been a very good job for Tommy Kahnle. If there's one bugaboo, it's been the walks, and he's been able to tame those of late. He'll come on here, and he's going to face the top of their order. David Peralta, will be the one that leads it off. There's the overall numbers. 14th appearance for Kahnle. He does not have a record yet. No save opportunities. He has struck out 18 and 14 and a third. A power arm with a good changeup.
Ball one high from Tommy Kahnle. An off-speed pitch through the changeup there on the first offering to Peralta. Changeup, a pitch that's kind of a work in progress, but we're seeing more of this year than we saw last year. Basically, fastball slider guy a year ago. And ball 2, and like George said, walks at times have been a problem. The command issues continue for Tommy Kahnle.
And what's the difficult part for Walt Weiss is you see the 95 to 97 mile an hour fastball, even 98 at times. In electric results, 3 strikeouts maybe in an inning. So even though when he falls behind or he walks the leadoff man, that ability to strike out the side is still there.
That's there for a strike. Peralta taking a pitch, it appeared. Tommy did not make the club out of spring training, and when he started out in the minors, on the way there, he told us, "Hey, I'm going to work on a couple of things: my command and my changeup." Swing and a miss, but good change there, thrown to Peralta. Good execution. 2-2. Rockies believe this guy at some point, perhaps down the road, has closer potential. Pitch is outside here, so full count on Peralta.
And that's where that command issues come in. That he's going to have to make sure that he's able to throw the strikes over and over and wear out the strike zone. They love closers that can get through innings very quickly. Ziegler, one of those with the Diamondbacks, not overpowering by any means, but he just wears out the zone, much Dan Quisenberry style.
Ground ball against his shift right there, DJ LeMahieu. 1 down.
Rockies fans, the new Stars and Stripes caps and jerseys are at your local dugout stores right now. Rockies dugout stores are the place for all Rockies with the best selection of Rockies merchandise and tickets. 303-832-TEAM, 303-832-8386, Rockies.com/dugout stores.
Paul Goldschmidt up, 1 down and nobody on. Goldschmidt 2 for 3, a double and a single. Strike 1. So Drew Stubbs out in left field for the Rockies, taking the spot of Brandon Barnes. Charlie Blackmon in center and Carlos Gonzalez out in right. This might be one of the faster outfields you'll see in any one given time in baseball. These guys can all fly. And all three very good defensively. And you take Brandon Barnes out and you put Stubbs in, you may not get a better fielder. You get a little more speed. 0-2. Low to Goldschmidt. The one time the Rockies got him out, he grounded out to second base in the 5th inning. Tommy Kahnle always from the stretch. Two and two. Rockies overall have lost 9 of their last 12 on the road. The problem in that stretch has not been the pitching. The pitching on the road has actually been solid for the Rockies. In fact, the bullpen the last month, 2.85 run average. It's a lack of offense that has really hurt the Rockies. 2-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Kahnle threw the ball on a slider by Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, you see a pretty good changeup up and away from it. The way he cut this thing loose, that it just has so much head motion. They call it a head whack in the pitching circles, but it's the deception with the head whack that causes good results.
Yeah, I said slider. That was clearly the changeup thrown by Kahnle and a dandy. 2 outs, and Tomas. Fastball outside at 95, ball 1. Tomas, a big night last night, but 0 for 3, so the Rockies have held him in check this evening. A strikeout, 2 ground ball outs. That's Manny Tomas, rookie out of Cuba. Again, the changeup, and he had him out in front. Good pitch again by Kahnle.
Really good command of it out of his hand. That's kind of the key to it. You kind of split it, 3-finger change. He'll also take and run it like a circle with a couple of different grips with good results.
And that pitch is upper 80s as well. Just caught a piece of it, Tomas did. Again, the changeup by Kahnle.
Yeah, really good look at the grip in his glove. You'll see it coming right out. It's more of a 3-finger, they call it a Vulcan type change. You got your middle finger over the top of the baseball with your index finger and your ring finger on the side of the baseball. So when you do that, you create a lot of movement on the pitch.
There he overthrew a fastball, and he could try to throw one by Tomas. It hit 95, but not near the plate. So 2-2. Another guy, Tomas, hit the ball very well against the Rockies this year.
Well, another change. It's successful so far. Why not? That hurt.
Yeah, again, caught a piece of it at the plate. George, at some point here, do you ratchet up that fastball, throw it up, and try to get him swing under?
It's not a bad idea. You just got to make sure you got command, and you only try to ramp it up and leave it flat in the middle of the zone.
He's had more command of the changeup than he has the fastball in this inning. 2-2 still to count. The pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Tommy Kahnle, a 1-2-3 seventh with a pair of strikeouts. Got Goldsman on the strikeout and got Tomas on the strikeout. We remain tied at 3. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Mike Shaw Subaru. Always our lowest price in sales and service. It's guaranteed. And by Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. Chase Field, downtown Phoenix, where the Rockies and D-backs hooked up in a good one. 3-3. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning, and a former starter, Daniel Hudson, takes over the mound for the D-backs.
Yeah, all of a sudden, he's one of those guys that newfound velocity has touched 98. Can't explain it. He's had 2 Tommy John surgeries. Came back, tried to start, not very successful, so he goes to the bullpen. And all of a sudden, he's fired bullets. 33 strikeouts in 35 innings. Hudson, the former starter who won 20 games at the big league level. He's got a good slider to go along with a very good fastball, and he starts Stubbs off with a slider at 88 miles an hour.
True part of the double switch last inning for the Rockies, so hitting in the number 9 spot here. Charlie Blackmon's on deck.
Stubbs is 1 for 9 in his career versus Daniel Hudson.
1 strike on Drew. 1 at bat last night. He swung at the first pitch as a pinch hitter, nearly had a home run to right field. He has a lot of home runs in his career the opposite way. Fouled it right back on a fastball there at 95 with Stubbs, but now he's behind 1-2. Hudson from the stretch with the pitch. Ground ball hit. That is a foul ball.
Now the right-hander, Scott Oberg, the left-hander, Christian Friedrich down in the bullpen for the Rockies.
Hudson taking a lot of time between pitches, shaking off a couple of signs from his catcher Castillo. Now set. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes with Stubbs.
Well, that's the difference, I think, of what you're seeing with Drew Stubbs there and then what you saw at the early part of the year. He would have chased that breaking ball in the dirt. With a 2-strike count, he's able to take that and even the count at 2-2, swinging back to a hitter's count. Yeah, wants the fastball down. Wants it on the outside half of the plate. Not even close. 96 with that offering from Hudson.
Surprise Castillo with it. He had to change directions with his glove to catch that. Working from the stretch, working first base side of the rubber. Wants a fastball, does Castillo. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a high fastball. 96 miles an hour. Let's take a peek at our league leaders, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers. League leaders in the National League stolen base leaders. Charlie Blackmon with 21. So Charlie projecting to have 40 on the year would be a terrific accomplishment. Billy Hamilton has 40 already, and D. Gordon and Altuve, both speedsters as well. But kudos to Charlie Blackmon with a stolen base count this year.
As fans tweet us tonight, when was the last Rocky that was 20-20? 20 home runs with 20 stolen bases?
Cargo?
Well, I'm not asking you. I'm asking the fans. I mean, I know you know the answer.
I don't really. I was guessing, to be honest.
Yeah, remember when it was a big deal to be 30-30?
Yeah.
Huge deal.
Yeah. 1 strike on Blackmon, who homered his first time up, then flied to center twice. One went to right field.
Wants the heater in on his hands.
Got it there and fouled it back. It was up a bit at 97 miles an hour. Daniel Hudson, go back to 2011. He was on his way. He won 16 games that year. As George said, he had an outstanding season. 16-12 in 2011. Then the injuries hit. The year before he came up as a rookie, went 7-1. 1-2. 6'3", 230. Lynchburg, Virginia. He is the 4th pitcher in D-backs history to have elbow ligament replacement surgery in consecutive years and return to the majors.
Well, Brandon Beachy made his rehab start the other day. Chad Billingsley was activated by Philadelphia. Been a few, not many, and they hope that Tyler Chatwood is the next in line to come back for the Rockies.
According to Tyler, things are progressing just fine for him. He says the arm, the elbow feels great. Fouled away. And try to get on top of that fastball. And let's go back to another tweet. This is a shot of the hat that the player's going to be wearing tomorrow. Rock hats for the 4th of July. Ryan Arrowwood credited with that tweet to us, but a good-looking cap tomorrow on the 4th of July.
So, Ryan, send me a hat. I'm a hat guy. You know that.
Those are cool.
Yeah, send me a Rock Cats hat.
Rock Cat. All right. Just missed.
He's had a pretty good strike zone to right-handers on the outside corner, but this ball is off the plate, even though caught very well by Castillo. He turned that thumb in, trying to keep the ball in the strike zone.
Daniel Hudson out of Old Dominion University. And Blackman gets time at the plate. From that Virginia Beach, Virginia area, born in Lynchburg, Virginia, but grew up in Virginia Beach, that hotbed for baseball.
There's been a few come out of there.
Goodness.
The Upton brothers.
The Rockies players. Eddie Butler from the area. That's strike 3 call.
Charlie letting Manny know you got to be consistent about it, and very adamant with that. You know, Charlie doesn't complain and doesn't get on umpires very often. But when he does, they understand the fact that he really felt like he missed the pitch. It was not called a strike earlier, nor should it have been called a strike here. Charlie has a right to be beefing out there. Yeah, Manny, I think, knew that he missed it. A lot of times when you have this kind of antics at home plate, those kind of antics that you typically get tossed by today's umpires. So when you miss one, you kind of know you missed it. You just let it walk away.
DJ LeMahieu with 2 outs. Nobody on. Bounces toward short. Tough play. Pennington a long throw off balance, but it's right on the money. Daniel Hudson comes in for a 1-2-3-8 against the Rockies. Now the D-backs try to break the tie. Blowout for the Rockies in game 1 last night. As we take a look at the swimming pool deck, and as well, question for you: who wants tacos? Fans follow at Roots Sports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more runs. And taking over for the Rockies on the mound, a left-hander now, Christian Friedrich will get some work.
35th appearance for Friedrich. He in 33 1/3. He has struck out 30, just walked 9. Lamb on the year has hit 182 against left-handers, so that's the reason Walt went to the call to get Christian Friedrich into the ball game to face this left-hander. 207 on the season for Friedrich facing left-handers. You get the matchup that you want to get. You still have the right-hander Olberg warming up in the bullpen.
Strike 1 on a slider thrown by Christian Friedrich. 2 hits for Lamb tonight, a triple and a single. He's knocked in a run and scored a run. This is where the D-backs hoping Lamb will develop against left-handed pitching.
Yeah, you did.
Went around on that one. Yes, sir. And what the Rockies hope, look like Brad Ziegler getting loose. What the Rockies hope is that Christian Friedrich can improve against right-handed hitting. He's tough on lefties, not so against the righties. That's in the dirt with another slider, so it's 1-2. Former first-round pick Christian Friedrich, former starter.
And a shift to the bullpen a year ago in AAA, then translated into the big leagues. An awful lot of success.
Big looping curveball stays upstairs.
And part of that mentality of transitioning into the bullpen, one thing Gaylord Perry taught me as a young player, and he was on an opposing team. You come into a ball game, whatever's working in the bullpen, you work it in this first at bat. You got to get out of the inning. Where was that at? Charlie can't believe it. He's in center field throwing his arms up, going, so you just rang me up. Why not him? Fourth strike zone tells you it is off the plate.
It's about the same spot, though, to Charlie strike 3. Payoff pitch.
Yeah, not what you wanted. Leadoff walk in the 8th. You got a left on left face. You're ahead 0-2. And then come back with 4 straight balls out of the strike zone.
Yeah, not what Christian Friedrich and Walt Weiss had in mind, lefty on lefty.
Yeah, see if Walt decides to go to the right-hander down in the bullpen, he's loose and ready.
And you saw the graphics. Right-handers teeing off against Friedrich this year, well over 300. Wellington Castillo is the right-hander here, and looks like Walt's going to stick with Friedrich.
And not a lot of speed. I mean, 2 stolen bases for Lamb at first base. Not much speed at the plate in Castillo. If you get a bunt down, and he may be doing that, he may not. But if he does choose to bunt, well, he will not. They're going to let him swing the bat. Misses with the fastball. And not sure where that was either. Against left-handers, 194. Couple of home runs, couple of RBIs.
And that's a called strike. 1-1. It's just the second walk issued by Rockies pitching tonight. Justin Miller walked a man when he was in there. And just 2 walks given by the D-backs tonight. Both of those from the starter, Chase Anderson. In a well-pitched game, both the starters and bullpen. 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 8th. Man at first and nobody out for the D-backs, so the man at first representing the go-ahead run. And Friedrich will throw that direction. That will get Lamb back. Game 3 tomorrow night. David Hale, Patrick Corbin coming off of surgery and making his debut this year. On Sunday afternoon, Jorge De La Rosa and Ruby De La Rosa. And the Rockies had Monday off. Pitch is fouled at the plate, going a piece of the catcher Hundley.
Yeah, that was an overswing by Castillo, and a good thing behind it too.
Umpire walked the ball about halfway out to the mound just to give Nick a chance to catch the breath. Nodding yes. I'm sure he's being asked if he's all right. So Friedrich.
And that's where you look back and go, are you okay? I saw the calls on Charlie. I'm just asking, I feel great back here. Oh, I love having fun with the umpires.
Are you okay? 1-2.
Yeah, you did.
Got him. Yep, in the dirt. Great pitch by Friedrich on a curveball. Out number 1 and a big one for Christian Friedrich.
And that's where you've seen Christian try to go to the hard slider a lot and minimize the pitches he uses. But this is a good pitch to a right-hander. Curveball in the dirt. He swung and missed the fastball on the previous pitch. You got him to chase poorly on a pitch in the dirt.
I'm going to say it. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
I like that.
Yeah.
You
Go grab
did.
some pine meat. You're done.
Yeah, you did. Chris Owings did twice tonight. He struck out twice. He's 1 for 3. So Friedrich kind of working backwards. He walked the lefty and then struck out the righty. Well, that's baseball. That caught the outside edge. Good fastball, 90 miles an hour. Good spot by Friedrich.
And I will say this, I mean, Manny Gonzalez, the home plate umpire, have been very consistent to right-handed hitters on the outside part of the plate. You mentioned Ziegler warming up. He's the guy that they go to. Obviously, on the home side, you want to preserve it. You run your closer out in the ninth. And it's Jim Tracy used to say, Whitey Herzog used to say, Billy Martin used to say, after the ninth inning, all bets are off. Because typically you've gone through your A side of your bullpen, your A side of your bench, pinch hitting. And so now you're kind of just scrambling those extra innings to try to win. The Diamondbacks 3 and 4 in extra innings.
Go around on that one. I don't think he did. Nope, held up with a swing. First base umpire Paul Schreiber said nope, he didn't go around. So the count is 1-2.
Rockies have been 1 and 3. Hope they win it in the ninth and you don't have to worry about it, right?
Exactly. Well, he's got the sign to Friedrich. The 1-2. Ground ball off the glove of Arenado, and everybody's going to be safe. Would have been a heck of a play had he held on, but the ball squirted out of his glove.
Orange with very good speed too, Jerry. I don't know if you catch that ball, can you get to your feet in time to be able to make the play? I mean, Nolan one-step dive, and a ball just eluded the glove at the time, but a great play just to knock this down. You're lucky you don't have first and third, but you have first and second.
Thinking Nolan, if he gets this, maybe he got the force at second.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a heck of a play. Most third basemen don't even have a chance to get there.
What you hope, too, is maybe that ball comes off the glove, rolls to Tulowitzki, and he can maybe make the play at second. Nothing happening. First and second and one out. So the potential go-ahead run at second base. And here's Cliff Pennington. And missed outside. Ball one. Nick Ahmed now is on deck in that pitcher spot. I believe that's Ahmed. Yeah, number 13. Yep, that's him. Started short last night. One-0 to Pennington. 1-1 strike. Pennington tonight with a couple of singles. He's driven in a run, struck out his first time, but then singled in back-to-back at bats. And the one in the sixth inning was that flare to right that scored the run to tie the game.
Yeah, Pennington 0 for 1 in his career versus Christian Friedrich.
Hitting just .231 on the year, but has the 2 hits tonight. Again, caught the outside edge. That's that pitch that the umpire's been giving the pitchers tonight.
Part of that also with the all bets off after 9, when you have 2 short benches, both these clubs just 4 extra men, so that makes it tough. The Rockies a little bit of an advantage because you have the third catcher in Rosario and Paulson, so you can do a little more flipping than what the Diamondbacks can.
1-2 pitch to Pennington. Ground ball to short, could be 2. LeMahieu back to first. It's a double play. Inning over for the D-backs in the 8th. We'll go on to the 9th. We're tied at 3 in the desert. Don't go away on Root Sports. All right, Mark, Jeff, thank you very much. Welcome back to Chase Field. And George, an interesting game. The Rockies let this get away last night late in the ball game. Not the story tonight. They're battling this evening.
They've done a very nice job. Miller's coming out of the bullpen. Caneley's coming out of the bullpen. Friedrich able to get the double play with 1 out and 2 on. And now it's up to this lineup, starting out with Tulowitzki, to get after Brad Ziegler and see if they can put 1 on the board and hand the ball over to LaTroy Hawkins.
And one of the hotter pitchers from the bullpen in Major League Baseball these days, Brad Ziegler, will take on the task here in this 9th inning.
19 strikeouts. He doesn't strike out a lot of people, but what he does do is get the ball on the ground tremendously. 203 left-handers, right-handers, just 155 on the season against him. Ziegler, as I said, the closer for this ball club. He took over that role with the failures of Addison Reed and his success as a strike thrower for Chip Hale and the Diamondbacks. And I think part of that is you have a president of operations, you have a general manager that played in the late 80s and managed in the late 80s and saw the success of a Dan Quisenberry that kept the ball on the ground, a Kent Colby that kept the ball on the ground. And so a strike thrower, Tony La Russa, with his knowledge of the game, and Dave Stewart all put that together. And obviously Chip Hale, Mike Harkey, this was the choice after Addison Reed could not complete the job.
On ball right side. Oh, nice play by Owings. 1 down. Oh, it looked like it was headed to right.
It sure did. I thought Tulowitzki had his 2nd hit of the game, 3rd time to be on base. He's walked in with a base hit. Now Ziegler's going to keep the ball in the bottom half of the zone, work both sides, but Owings using that speed. Remember, I told you 9 out of 10 stolen bases. Use speed and range to get it. Ziegler happy to get that first out here in the 9th inning. So it's such an important out.
Now Arenado up there. Nolan looking for his first hit tonight.
Arenado 1 for 4 against Ziegler. That 1 hit, yes sir, a home run.
And that's chopped in front of the plate. That's a foul ball, I believe. Went off the foot. Nope, fair ball, says the umpire.
Yeah, and he came out with the safe call that pointed into fair territory. Just tapped hard into the dirt by Nolan on a hard sinker.
Well, that's Ziegler. Ground ball out. Got somebody else to chop one off the plate.
3 pitches, 2 outs. It's pretty typical what he does. There it is. That really hard sinker out front. Yeah, Nolan hit my toe. Come on, let it hit my toe. Yeah. It did. It stayed right out in fair territory. And Castillo able to make the play at first base.
Yeah, the sexy trend these days is that power closer. This is something different. Brad Ziegler not going to strike many out, as George said. Not going to overpower anybody. Going to get ground ball outs. Nothing wrong with that.
He's 83 to 86 miles an hour with a slider and a changeup. Left-handers mostly are going to see the sinker away at about 83, 84.
That one's chopped off the plate up the first base side. 34 innings for Ziegler, just 21 hits allowed.
He graduated out of Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri, where he played for Keith Gutton. He's in his 32nd year.
That's some good players coming out of that program.
A lot of great players, Ryan Howard being one of those. Ross Detweiler, one of the pitchers.
There's a broken bat. 2-hopper to second base. That's actually shortstop Pennington. 1, 2, 3, 9th. All 3 ground ball outs for the side armor, Brad Ziegler. Bottom of the 9th coming up. transmitted in any form, and the account and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Quite a ball game, 3-3 tie in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's a look outside Chase Field in downtown Phoenix, and a beautiful night tonight. The sunset gorged again. You get some of the great sunsets around this city. As Nick Ahmed will be the pinch hitter. Christian Friedrich is staying in the ball game for now anyway. The Rockies do have bullpen action happening at the moment. And we'll see what Walt Weiss has in mind. Friedrich with a good 8th inning, came back and got the double play ball.
Ahmed 0 for 1. Goldschmidt 1 for 4. You start to going to look at their lineup. Peralta 1 for 4. Pollock is 1 for 1.
Yeah, they announced Nick Ahmed, the right-handed hitter, and Walt Weiss was going to his bullpen pitching change. We'll be right back. Rockies make a pitching change, and well, there's a lot of confidence shown in the young right-hander here. Scott Oberg, after getting beat up last night, right back out there, George.
And I love it.
I do too.
And the reason I say that, the Rockies at 34 and 45, it's not like you're in first place. This is one of your bullpen pieces for the future. And the way you get him over a bad outing like last night, and last night he went a third of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, he walked 2, is you stick him right back out there again and say, kid, hey, I believe in what you can do. Last night, forget about it. Let's go right at these guys. He'll get Nick Ahmed to start things out and see how he handles that. And then, of course, the top of the lineup flips around. Ahmed 0 for 1 in his career against Oberg. I love this move by Walt Weiss.
Me too. And that's typical of Walt Weiss. Rookie right-hander Scott Oberg fires a fastball that's high for ball 1. 4 runs last night in 1/3 of an inning. That'll bring the ERA up a little bit for Oberg.
They kick out 3 outings, and I guarantee you I haven't done it. Yeah. The ERA's around 2.
Yep, you're right. 2-0. Ahmed has really been patient lately, swinging the bat well. It was a light-hitting, great defensive shortstop, this guy Ahmed, but he is surprised the D-backs with his offensive prowess. Overall, just 237 with the last week, well over 300. 3-0. I hope that here we go again thing doesn't set in for Oberg.
And all 3 fastballs have been 94, 95, 96. He's not holding back. He's just not in the zone right now. That one is at 94.
3-1. 0-4. Potential winning run at first base. Nobody out. A.J. Pollock coming up. A big moment in this ball game happened back in the 5th inning. A.J. Pollock dropped a single to left, stretched a single into a double. Initially called safe there, but then a challenge by the Rockies in a replay review said he was out. He switched hands, touching the base. Out, says the official. Call reversed, and this is his reaction. We had an "Are you kidding me?" and "How could that possibly be?" reaction from A.J. Pollock. The officials 1 for 4, got credit for a single in that inning. Put the bunt down, put it up the third base side, a good one, grabbed by Arenado, and nobody covering first base.
Now bunted very hard. DJ LeMahieu, because of where they were playing defensively, did not have a move.
First and second, nobody out. And now the heart of the order.
Looking at this from high home, you see defensively what happened on this. LeMahieu's playing up the middle. Let's roll it. Here comes the bunt. Rosario 2 steps. He's got to get back to first base and get there for that throw. It's too long of a run for LeMahieu.
Lack of experience at first base. Rosario maybe costing the Rockies. Now some real work to do for Scott Oberg. This is his game. There's nothing happening in the Rockies' pen. David Peralta, Paul Goldschmidt, Yasmani Tomas coming up 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, they're making sure defensively, and Oberg's a good athlete. He can get off the mound and make a play if they choose to have their number 2 hitter, Peralta, lay the bunt down.
Not a bad idea with Goldschmidt coming up.
An obvious, you would think. Very surprised that he did not even show bunt. Ball 1.
Peralta tonight with a double in 4 trips. 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Peralta doubled back in the first, scored one of those 2 runs that the D-backs had in the first inning. They tacked on one more in the 6th to tie it up. The Rockies got all 3 of their runs in the very first inning. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Ground ball up the middle, grabbed by Tulowitzki, steps in the bag for the first, not in time. Rockies get the force at second base.
Tell you what, a pickup by Tulo. And Ahmed went in there hard too, trying to disrupt what Tulowitzki might have going on. Man.
All right, George, first and third here. Do you walk Goldschmidt to load the bases up?
Well, I knew you were going to ask me that. It's what I don't like about it. Trying to think this manage inside. Here it is again, trying to backhand it, going to flip it. Tulo's grabbing it, but then Ahmed gets into him, and that allowed Peralta to be safe.
Pollock's at third, Peralta at first. Paul Goldschmidt is the hitter.
He's 0 for 3 in his career versus Oberg.
You can load the bases and pitch to Tomas and hope for the double play. And I think that's what the Rockies are going to do.
They're going to walk him, man. It is, you know what? And I'm not taking the chicken way out of answering this. I think I would have said the same thing. Walk him. The only thing reserve I have about it is the wildness that has been shown the last 2 days about Oberg. So do I want to go right at this guy and hope that maybe I beat him, he doesn't beat me? But when you're hitting 352, you look at the flip side of this and say, all right, I loaded up. I've got a guy at home plate that does not run well, and Tomas. He's not a burner. Maybe we have the shot at a double play. I'll take my chances against Tomas versus against him, and I'll take my chances that Oberg's going to throw a strike. Chip Hale, I'm sure, likes what's going to see here with bases loaded. and only 1 out. It's a tough call for a manager, either way you're looking at it.
I just think this is what you have to do.
And this is where you have the catcher come to a young pitcher, and he says, let's go right at this guy. Let's stick it on him, and let's get the W right now. Let's get this double play and get out of this thing. Walt's going to go out to the mound. Let's see what he's going to do here. Descalso is going to come into the ball game. This is where you try to switch things around a little bit and cover up every hole in the infield.
We play with 2 outfielders. We'll see what Walt has in mind here.
Yeah, Gonzalez is going to come out of the game.
Yep.
Descalso will go in for him. Then they'll load up the infield, and they'll just spread it out on the corners and then figure out defensively what they're going to do.
Always interesting in this situation, and this is what most teams will do. They'll go with the 2 outfielders or play them shallow. An extra infielder in, try to cut that run off and not let that ground ball get through the infield.
Absolutely. You play Descalso right behind second base.
Well, maybe they might even bring Ben Paulson in defensively here, but they're not going to do that. Yasmani Tomas is 0 for 4. He's swinging the bat extremely well against the Rockies especially. So the move is Descalso in for Gonzalez officially. And you see Daniel playing almost in front of second base. Right-handed hitters, so 3 on the left side, 2 on the right side of the infield. Now as a pitcher, you got to execute a pitch or 2.
You have to execute your pitches. You got to stay down in the strike zone. And you got to make sure you get in the right spots here. You want to be able to cover up all holes.
The Rockies have the infield in, so they're not going to play double play up the middle. They're going to try to cut the run off at home.
Well, I think if the ball's hit to DJ or Tula, they may try to flip it back with Descalso right on top of the bag. Nobody's going to have to move that way. Rosario wanted timeout. He had held his hands in the air for timeout, and it wasn't given to him. Rosario's trying to get the defensive alignment of what they want out of the dugout. Here's Rosario. Watch his hands go up, and then pitches throw, and he had to drop back down again.
Just trying to figure out where he's supposed to be positioned. They have him where they want him now. 0-1 on Tomas. Strike 2 call.
Nasty. 94-mile-an-hour heater on the corner on the black. Well, you like this response by Scott Oberg right now.
That's a great pitch. Great spot. Oh, 2.
Oh, man.
Getting that call all night. Didn't get it there.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's off the plate more than what has been all night. Yeah, not that much. I can take it. Must have been some nasty at 95. I can't hit it, so I'll let it go by.
Yeah, good try. Why not go out there if we can get that call tonight? 1-2.
Rotating to go out there again. Big slider, good block.
Yasmani Tomas against Scott Oberg. Rookie against rookie. Tomas lead the National League in hits as rookies go. Looking for a big one here. Oberg looking to shut the door. 1 out with the bases loaded. And Oberg steps off the rubber. He's going to reset.
You know, you always got to have it in your mind. It's the pitcher's heart. It's what he's feeling for the pitch. Not maybe what's the best pitch to call right now, but what do you feel in your gut you can get this strikeout with?
Swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball.
Turn the heat loose, Scott Oberg. I love it. Turn the heat loose.
Ooh-wee.
Man, you like it like this. Come get some of that. Yeah, now Ben Polson will go in the game. Descalso would come out. Stubbs will go to right field. And Charlie Blackmon in center.
The Rockies can go back their conventional defense with 3 outfielders. One more to go. Mike Lamb, a left-handed hitter. So there's Paulson in left. Blackmon stays in center, and Stubbs over in right. Gonzalez is out of the game. Jake Lamb's had a good night tonight. An RBI triple, a single, and a walk. He's also popped out to third. Bases loaded, 2 down. Rockies trying to get to the 10th inning.
Lamb's 0 for 2 in his career versus Scott Oberg.
Ground ball. LeMahieu's got it. We're going to the 10th inning. What a play by DJ. Bases loaded, 1 out. The D-backs unable to score. 10th inning coming up. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. 10th inning here in Phoenix. Rockies and D-backs tied up at 3 inside this ballpark. It's been quite a night. 5 of the 6 runs scored between these two teams coming in the first inning. And the Rockies out-hit 11-3 in the game, yet are right there tied in the top of the 10th. Jerry Schimmel with George Frazier back here in Phoenix at Chase Field. And new pitcher, lefty Andrew Chafin, will get some work tonight here in the 10th, George.
Here he is in the 10th. 4-0, very good year going for him. Right-handers have gotten after him a little bit at 242. He'll have Rolin Rosario to start things off. I mentioned earlier, Colorado 1 for 3 in extra innings. The Arizona Diamondbacks 4 for 9. Rosario in meetings with Chafin, he has not faced him. It's a new beginning for both guys here in the top of the 10th inning. I'll make it one swing and get the Rockies on top. Why not?
I'm with you. Fouled away, got a good swing on that fastball. Strike one. Chafin, a rookie left-hander. Lefty's hitting just 196 against, and the righty's much better. And bullpen action. Johan Flande, the left-hander, and then LaTroy Hawkins on the right. Chafin working from the stretch. Low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kent State University, Andrew Chafin. Saw him a couple of different times in spring training. And did he hold up? He did. Did not go around Rosario. So the count in his favor, 2 balls and a strike. Moline with a big swing in the first inning to drive in 2. Since then, he struck out twice. Chafin last year, 3 appearances for the D-backs, all from the bullpen. Total of 14 innings. The pitch. It is low. It is 3-1. George said it earlier, after the 9th inning, all bets off. The bullpen now is a bit of a crapshoot for both of these teams. You just try to piece it together and stay in the ball game, and hopefully somebody comes up with a big swing. Ball 4. Rosario draws the walk. Potential go-ahead run at first base for the Rockies, and nobody out, 10th inning.
Well, the Diamondbacks have shuffled themselves defensively also. Chafin, you mentioned, came into the ball game, but Pennington slides to third. Ahmed goes to short, his natural position. The Rockies' batting order now, Ben Tolson is hitting behind Arenado. So they will have to come up with a pinch hitter here, and it's Michael McHenry, the only left on the bench, only player left on the bench. The Diamondbacks have Sultan Lamakia, that's it.
I think the toss to first just to see if maybe Hundley was going to show bunt there. He did not. Doesn't mean he's not going to bunt. Didn't show it. Rosario at first, runs okay as catchers go. And showing bunt now, puts a bunt down first base side. It's a beauty. It's going to stay fair. That's a base hit for Hundley. Catcher Castillo thought it might trickle foul. It did not. The Rockies first and second, nobody out.
Similar to what the Diamondbacks had to face previously. How about this? Spinning. Is it going to go? No. And then Castillo tried to barehand grab, snap throw to first. Didn't get it there. Good job, Nick Hundley.
Yes, George said McHenry was on deck. Now Michael step in and pinch hit. 2 for 11 as a pinch hitter this year, but does have an RBI with one of those swings. And he has walked 4 times as a pinch hitter. You got the number 9 guy, Stubbs, on deck. Oh, base hit for the Rockies here, huge. Michael McHenry trying to come through. He has 12 RBIs this year.
They're playing defensively for the bunt. McHenry tried to get it down, and it's a ball. A lot of times a catcher gets too quick from behind the plate, and I've had umpires tell me this in this situation, to go out and cover. So what they do is they come up out of their crouch, they block the vision of the umpire, and he doesn't know if it's a strike or a ball, so he does call it a ball like 99% of the times. He did not, because of the ability of the catcher popping straight up.
Michael McHenry just making sure with Stu Cole. I would think you'd want to try to put the bunt down here, stay out of the double play. You got 9-1 and 2 coming up. Stubbs on deck, and then Blackman and LeMahieu.
Well, how proud is that of the Rockies right now? Scott Oberg working out of that situation. That was an unbelievable job. Great job.
Not bunting, and he swings and fouls it away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Might be one of those situations you say, all right, Mac, we're going to give you 1 strike. If you can hit the ball, great. If not, put the bunt back on. Yeah, especially George with Oberg, considering what happened last night. I mean, not just a great effort, but after what happened last night.
Absolutely. Well, here's the thing. Left-handed pitcher on the mound. If you lay the ball down the third base line, it's an easier throw because he is left-handed to third. You got a very athletic, good first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
McHenry showing bunt, stepping off the back of the rubber, Chafin.
Rosario out at second. Ahmed made the break to third. So defensively, they're going to crash from the corners and off the pitcher's mound, with Ahmed supposedly and hopefully trying to outrun Rosario if you're the Diamondbacks. What you have to watch out for if you're Rosario is getting too big of a lead.
Yep.
The pitch not bunted and a snap throw to second by Castillo.
McHenry showing bunt. He pulled it back. He took it for a ball, low and in. 2-1. There's already been a walk in the inning. Rosario walked to start it. We talked about all the walks for McHenry. He's got a good eye at the plate, and they're not going to try to bunt at something that's not a strike. Not a bad guy, George, in my mind anyway, to have at the plate in this situation. McHenry, slow heartbeat guy, smart hitter. He's been a good clutch hitter in his career. Not asked to bunt all that often, I don't think, but I think he's good enough to put the bunt down if he needs to.
2 for 11 as a pinch hitter this year. There's nobody there at the bag. More of Chaffin making sure that everybody kind of stay put with their leads. They don't get too aggressive.
Big spot for Oberg in the inning. Big spot for Andrew Chafin here, rookie left-hander.
Chafin, again, I mentioned left-handed. They're really crashing these corners, trying to get the force at third. There will not be a play at second.
And again, it's taken for a ball by McHenry. Chafin snapping the baseball, getting it back from the catcher. 3-1.
And their bullpen is idle. As it was with the Rockies, Scott Oberg was his job to get out of the inning, and he did. It appears to be that also for the Diamondbacks.
And again, a conversation, McHenry and Stu Cole at third base.
And Mike Harkey says, well, if you guys are going to talk, then I'm going to go talk. All right. Mom and Dad are watching the game. I'm a pitching coach. They don't see me nearly as often, so I'm going to go out and have a visit real quick.
In the meantime, that's Chip Hale. That's the manager on the phone. Dave McKay, the first base coach, to his left. And there's Mike Harkey, as George said, on the mound, the pitching coach.
They have 9 people in their bullpen. The Diamondbacks do. They've only been going with 4 starters till tomorrow. They have used 5 so far. You still have Perez down there, who throws the ball extremely well. Most of the time strikes. Delgado, another hard-throwing right-hander. Hernandez, who pitched last night.
3-1 on McHenry. Not bunting, and a line drive right to the shortstop, back to second for a double play.
Yes, that can't happen. You're not going anywhere. It's got to freeze on the line drive.
Oh, just what the Rockies were not looking for, a double play. Rosario caught off of second base.
That's tough not to be aggressive, but here's that big 2-step lead. And then by the time, see, there goes Rosario off with the shortstop. Then by the time it's caught, he freezes, tries to get back. Ball's hit extremely hard.
Incredible. Drew Stubbs up there. 2 outs, a runner at first. All 1 to Stubbs. Oh, that's just what the D-backs needed. And at first base is Nick Hundley, and that's fouled away by Stubbs.
Well, Troy Hawkins was warming up to come into the ball game if the Rockies were to go ahead in this game. Now Flande has continued to throw in the Rockies bullpen. If it stays tied, I would assume he will be the guy.
Catcher Castillo getting time at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike on Stubbs. 2 home runs on the year for Drew as a big leaguer this year. 5 RBIs. And again, Hundley saw that pitch, that throw coming to first. A walk to Rosario, an infield bunt single for Hundley, and then McHenry lines out to short with a double play.
Stubbs has faced the left-hander 1 time, and it was a walk.
Swing and a miss. D-backs have 6, 7, and 8 coming up in their lineup if we get to the in the bottom of the 10th inning. Castillo, Owings, and Pennington, the scheduled hitters. Now the Rockies trying to rally with 2 outs. 2-2. Grubbs trying to get to Charlie Blackmon. Strike 3. The Rockies threaten first and second, nobody out, unable to score in the 10th inning. Bottom of the 10th coming up. We're still tied the Desert at 3. In extra innings. We're back to first inning. Charlie Blackmon had a leadoff home run against Chase Anderson. Put the Rockies up 1-0. They weren't done in that inning. 2-run, 2-out double by Willeen Rosario. 3-0 Rockies. But the bottom of the inning, the D-backs come right back. They get some runs of their own. Paul Goldschmidt, an RBI double. And then an RBI triple by Jake Lamb. The Rockies led it 3-2 after 1. And just one more run after that. That was scored by the D-backs later on, 6th inning. So first inning, 5 runs. Total in the game, 6 runs. And now we're in the bottom of the 10th inning, tied at 3. Yohan Flonde on the mound for the Rockies.
4th game for him to appear in. You'll see not much strikeouts here. And Nick Hundley just telling the left-hander, hey, let's just go at him. That's what we've been doing all night. Castillo will lead it off. In his career, he's 1 for 3 against Flonde. After Castillo, Michael Owings will be the hitter. He's 0 for 2 in his career. And Clint Pennington will follow that. And, they have not met up yet.
So Castillo first, he's 0 for 3, been hit by a pitch. Yohan Flonde with the pitch. Ball 1. This is the 5th pitcher from the Rockies bullpen following Kyle Kendrick, who went 5 1/3. The D-backs have used 4 from their bullpen following Chase Anderson's 6 innings. It's by Flonde. It's hit to right field. It's pretty well struck. Going back. Stubbs off the wall. That's a leadoff double for Wellington Castillo. Almost ended the game with one swing.
Drew Stubbs gave chase on this baseball. You didn't anticipate the ball being hit this far. And so now you've got to deal with nobody out and the runner at second base. Well, a ball hit into right center field. You can see how close this ball was to getting out of the ballpark, halfway up the pole. Stubbs gave chase to the line, knowing Charlie Blackmon's behind him. He could play off the ricochet.
Well, here we go again. Man at second base, representing the winning run. Hitter is Chris Owings. How do you walk this guy? How to set up a forced play.
Couple of hits in the ball game. They'll pitch to him. They'll pinch on the corners. The Rockies will. Flande, they told him what they're doing defensively. As a hitter, if you do bunt, hard up the third baseline.
And that's going to roll foul. If you walk the guy here, then the next guy comes up to put the bunt down. So you might as well just face this guy. I'm sure that's the reasoning for Walt Weiss. And now the D-backs just want to get that runner to third with one down. This is where the bench coach becomes awfully important to a team. That's Tommy Reynolds, a bench coach, on the left of Walt. Owings took that for a strike. It's 0-2.
Yeah, another look at the slider. 84 miles an hour. More of a cut fastball, and it caught the strike zone. Make a pitch here.
Rockies are thinking, oh, he's still going to try to bunt. Rosario's tight at first. Nope, not going to bunt here. Base hit to left field. Is it enough to score? Nope. Holding up at third base is Castillo.
Good job, Pitt Paulson, getting to the baseball. They'll have first and third. Well, now you're back to the trickery if you're Walt Weiss. You almost got to load him up and try to get it. Maybe you don't. I mean, you got Pennington up and then Ahmed, two right-handers back to back. Betancourt had thrown 2 days in a row. Hawkins is your closer. Cutter on the inside on an 0-2 count. Jerry in too good a pitch in a too good an area. Able to pull that ball right by Nolan. Nolan thinking defensively had been moved up by the coaching staff, thinking the bunt probably still on. If he's back in normal position, maybe he has a play. That's the flip of the coin you deal with.
Not going to walk the hitter. It's Cliff Pennington. Rockies will play the infield in conventionally. No extra infielder. And everybody left.
Outfield will draw in.
Pitch is hit to left. That should score the run. Paulson being chased back. Castillo will tag, and the ball game is over. In 10 innings, the D-backs come back to win this thing. Sacrifice fly by Cliff Pennington scores the winning run in the bottom of the 10th. 4-3 victory for Arizona.
Yeah, Pennington, what a night, too. He struggled on the year, Cliff has, and this time the deep fly ball, his sixth RBI of the year. Cliff Pennington with a couple of hits tonight, bumped his average up, so the veteran, good for him, and everybody excited. Shaping one of those guys, the good luck piece. 5-0 now, coming out of the bullpen.
Great work for Scott Oberg tonight, but it wasn't enough. The Rockies dropped Game 2 of the series 4-3 in 10 innings. Let's get to our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and this will be the game winner right here. The walk-off. It's a sacrifice fly for the veteran Cliff Pennington. Pitch over the plate, and he sent it to the warning track and left, and just no chance for Ben Paulson to make a play. That's our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. It's the game winner for the D-backs. And the celebration continuing on the field here at Chase Field. D-backs are creeping up to 500. The Rockies now 2-6 on the road trip thus far. Let's go back to Denver and the studio. Mark Stout, Jeff Houston.